What's going on, guys? It's Logan, and I'm here with my amazing co-host,
Brayden Noble.
And welcome to Actors POV.
POV.
Yes, sir. Episode 3, bro. I'm feeling good, dog. Dude, I'm so ready to get into this, bro. It's gonna be awesome. How you doing today, though, bro? How you feeling on this beautiful week?
I was telling you a little bit about it earlier, but I've had a pretty good week. Some pretty big W's. We talked about them last week, but this week I was back on set again. I did a project with Full Sail, so I had a really good day actually. What about you, man?
You know, it's hold on, I gotta fix my mic real quick. Okay, there we go. Love the technical difficulties in the middle of the episode. Exactly. It's all going good, brother. Everything is going good here. We're filming this on a Friday, so we won't be able to talk about the box office too much. Even though that new Magic Mike movie came out and had a really good Friday opening. I got the Friday numbers right here. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second, because we're pretty excited about that movie, obviously. So yeah, man, it's going good, brother. We're out chilling, having a good time. The fair is in town, so that's pretty hype, dude, bro.
I didn't even know.
County Fair. Yeah, dude, we gotta hit that up, bro. Let's go do it, man.
Might do a live little podcast.
Yo, we could do a vlog, bro.
Vlog,
dude. Let's do it, bro. Let's do it
to the channel for
real. So yeah, I'm feeling good. The fair is always nostalgic because I grew up showing animals there and stuff. So like, I just like walking around and seeing. I see everybody there, dude. Everybody I grew up with. So it's always really weird, And like with me, bro, when it comes to socializing, like I love to socialize, love to talk to people. But if I see someone in public and I'm not expecting it, I'm so awkward, bro.
Oh wow,
I'm so awkward. I don't know if that's just me. It's weird, bro. I'm always like it's really strange. So if I'm like reaching out to you and I'm like, bro, can we have lunch or something? It's like, it's fine. It's a normal conversation. We have a good time.
Then it's chill.
Because I know what I'm getting myself into. But when I just see someone random in public, I kind of freak out. So it's kind of weird.
I'm the same way, yo, low key. Depending on the person.
Yeah, it's like if like my best friend and we're chilling. But even like even some like my good friends, bro, like it's still kind of weird. I don't know. It feels off. But yeah, everything's going good over here, man. Everything's going good over here.
That's fantastic, man.
Yeah. You want to kind of tell everybody what we're gonna be doing today?
Yeah. So we're gonna start off with our amazing movie review, and we're very excited for this one. And I actually have to thank Elijah Temple for this idea. It's
my guy Elijah.
Yeah, Elijah, you coming in clutch, man. It's Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. We didn't have the opportunity to see it together, but we still watched it. Then we're going to follow it up with some actor news, and then finish it off with how we approach a scene, kind of like our little template on how we go about auditions and going about reading and script analysis and all that yada yada yada. So
yes sir. Yeah, this is probably going to be one of my favorite episodes, dude. Obviously this is only our third one, so it doesn't really mean a lot, but no, it's gonna be pretty exciting. Also, I just want to take this moment before we dive into the movie review. Sorry, I keep burping. Thank you guys so much for the support.
Absolutely,
I was gonna tell Brayden here, I haven't told him yet, but we've gone up like 4 views today alone on Spotify. Not on YouTube's always going up, but Spotify we've gone up to 4 new listeners today, which is unreal. And I haven't even posted about it, dude. I haven't posted anything. So I posted the whale review a couple days ago on YouTube, but not anything today or yesterday. So the support's amazing. Thank you guys so much. I mean,
we appreciate that.
What we love to see. We love doing this. We love coming on here and talking and doing this, bro. So we're getting there, and support's pretty consistent. So
taking it day by day.
Man. Really, and thank you guys. I just wanted to kind of take that moment and say we're really appreciative of y'all, and just thank you so much. It makes us feel special. We feel special,
We do feel special. I get a little tingle in my heart.
Just a little tingle.
In my heart.
Yeah, so we're gonna do our little analysis, our little 1 minute kind of thing, kind of like we did with the whale. Brayden, I'll let you go first this week.
Yeah, I'm gonna read off the synopsis and the cast.
Oh yeah, go for that.
So, the synopsis is: when an interdimensional rupture unravels reality, an unlikely hero must channel her newfound powers to fight bizarre and bewildering dangers from the multiverse as the fate of the world hangs in the balance.
Yo, that sounds insane. Like,
intense,
that sounds
dude. That's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I'll just go over pretty much our leads. We have Michelle. I don't want to butcher this, but Michelle Yao, Ki-Hu Kwan, Stephanie Sue, and then Jamie Lee Curtis, and then James Hong. I feel like those were the big names of the movie.
Dude,
Sorry if I
I
butchered a few of
literally
those.
had those down on my piece of paper, like those exact same ones in that order. So look at
Yeah,
us, bro. Look at us.
there you go,
Uh,
man.
yeah, dude, this cast. Oh, we'll get into it in the pros, but oh my god, did they kill it? Did they kill
Killed
it,
it.
bro? I mean, I thought the whale and the whale acting was obviously amazing in that film, but this movie just felt more complete when it comes to the characters. Like they just each, oh my god, I can't wait to talk about this movie, bro. I literally cannot wait. It's unreal. It's unreal. So yeah, so that's a synopsis. That's what the movie's about. It's like a multiverse type of thing. You jump. It's like a multiverse.
And it definitely
thing.
catches
I
you
don't
off
know.
guard. Like I didn't know anything about the movie beforehand. I opened this movie and I saw something about the multiverse. I was like, "What the hell?" I'm telling you, like 20 minutes in, you wouldn't think it's just like a normal
Yeah.
movie, and then out of nowhere, things switch up so quick. And I think that's what I really like a lot about it.
Which I told you in the whale, the one thing that I guess kind of ruined it for me is it wasn't engaging. This
Yeah.
movie engaged every single person that watched it, whether you liked the way it went or whether you didn't like the direction it went. It engaged you, bro. And
Oh yeah.
I'll get into what engaged me early on. It's actually a very subtle thing that they put in there that you're supposed to see as a viewer, but it wasn't what I thought would get me into it, and it did, and it really
Oh yeah.
did. But yeah, man, yeah. Let's just. I'm ready to just dive into
Yeah,
it,
let's
bro.
go.
Go ahead and do your little analysis real quick.
So I'm gonna start off with this, and this is I told Logan this in a voice message earlier, but as soon as I'm not gonna lie to you, I cried. I cried watching this movie. I think I would have cried. I told Logan I think I would have cried watching The Whale if he wasn't there. But I definitely cried watching this movie. And the last, I'll even go 20, 25 minutes had me extremely emotional because as we talked about it in the last episode, I am such a big theme guy. And this movie resonates with me so hard. The way I look at life, the way I value things, like spot on. And I'm gonna say right here, ballsy prediction, it's best picture. Best picture. Hate me or not, I don't care. I don't care. Best picture.
We do not
It
care.
was we do not care. It was so good. Like when I say like new top five, it sits there as like one of those movies that changes like how I look at things. Like I actually wanted, if I didn't have things to do today, I probably would watch it again right away. Like I was like giggling at the end. My parents were like, "What the hell is wrong with you?" And I'm like, "I'm infatuated right now." Um, I'll make a quick point on the theme. It's really, I feel like, a lot about appreciating what you have and then always thinking you'd want more. But at the end of the day, we come back and sometimes just being with that 1 to 2 people, that family that you love, is always going to be more important, more special than going out there. Nothing matters. You know what I mean? We're all little rocks and one giant rock, and none of this matters. Nothing in this life matters. What you do doesn't matter. And just
It
you
doesn't
shouldn't
matter.
care. Here's my thing. Here's my thing. This is a big thing I have. It doesn't matter and you shouldn't care, but if you do, everything matters. If that makes sense, it will resonate with you so hard. It doesn't matter, but if it does, everything matters.
Which
You know
is
what I
not
mean?
good. Which is not
And
good
it's not
because then
good.
you
But
just
make
you
the
get
best, always make the best of the worst situation, man.
right,
That's what I got from it, man.
dude.
Really touching.
Spot on. I felt the same exact way. That's the exact same themes I got from the film. I do have a big con in this movie, so let me just kind of go through my
Okay.
little short thing. This movie,
Give it up for Logan Allen.
yeah, how y'all doing today? This is a film that I think is beautiful. I enjoyed it way more than The Whale. I thought it was way more engaging than The Whale. There's a point
Definitely was.
oh yeah. There's a point at the beginning of the movie, like I said, that does engage me. And I'm gonna get to that in the pros, more specifically. The cast was unreal. This is a really
Unreal.
unreal. Such a hard.
And I want to just
movie
make a quick comment.
Uh-huh.
In all like Asian supporting cast, phenomenal. Great choice. Like it was perfect. And I love how, it was bilingual. You had a little bit of everything. Like I love those movies. I don't know if you saw the Steven Yeun one. I'm a big fan of him because I love The Walking Dead.
Same here.
But Steven Yeun got nominated for an Oscar. I think it was 2 years ago. It was a year or 2 years ago. It was either Rami Malek's year or Joker's year. But I think it was Joker's year. He got nominated for an Oscar, and I was kind of like rooting for him. You know what I mean? Because I love him.
yeah.
But this movie really it blew my socks off, and I love the cast. I love the cast.
Oh, 100%.
Didn't even think Jamie Lee Curtis was Jamie Lee Curtis for a second there.
Yeah. No, Jamie, I love Jamie Lee Curtis. I'm a big Halloween fan. You guys know this. So seeing Laurie Strode on screen is always the best. And yeah, she was really, really good in this movie. I'm a big Jamie Lee Curtis fan. Not only from Halloween, but from Prom Night. Freaky Friday. There's a lot of good movies she's in, and she did incredible in this. And really did her part. And like I said, the thing that really stood out to me about this cast was this is a movie that you're playing so many different personalities, and but they somehow kept the staple of the character. It was so weird.
Know,
and I dude, I don't know how they did that. That's not just the actors, that's also the directors, the writers that had to make that. It was, people don't understand how hard that is. They don't know, and people don't understand how hard it is not only to do that, but keep the character that you're doing consistent. Like when I do Sweet Magnolias, I'm 3 seasons in. Hopefully 4. We'll see what happens. Go support season 3 when it comes out. Go support
season 3. Go support.
You got to, bro. From season to season, we have like a 1.5 break in between seasons, a year break. It's so hard to keep the consistency of the character because he's growing, but at the same time, you got to keep the staple of that character, keep him grounded. These actors and actresses did it perfect, and it's unreal, man. Like you said, I love the bilingual. I think it adds to it. It makes it so much more interesting. And yeah, Michelle, who plays Evelyn, was unreal. Love her from everything that she does.
Unreal.
Crazy Rich Asians. Have you seen that?
I want her to win. I haven't seen it. I've seen I think like the last half. I walked in on it at a friend's house and I ended up watching the ending, like the wedding scene and stuff.
Go watch it. She is unreal in that as well. And a phenomenal film. If you love a good Asian cast like this, that's where you need to go. Beautiful movie. Love it. Great.
And if
this movie was
Korean,
better though.
I'm so sorry. You know what I mean? If I'm,
I don't know. I don't think they're Korean.
I was like, I don't want to be getting the wrong thing here.
No, I was calling it. Yeah, I don't think they're Korean. But yeah, unreal stuff. Man. And then seeing James Hong in there, bro. The guy from Kung Fu Panda and
took
like
me off guard,
bro. He's such a legend. He has he's been acting consistently since the '60s, and it's crazy. But anyway, let me finish up my thing. I'm like 5 minutes in. No, you're good. It's me. I'm rambling on. But the one thing that really got me, and I'm gonna expand on this, is this movie is a drama, a comedy, a thriller, a sci-fi movie, martial arts movie. It's every single genre you can think of. A romance movie. They don't keep a stable tone throughout the movie, and that's what gets me, because I feel like in some scenes I'm supposed to be laughing but I'm not, in some scenes I'm like the rock scene, I'm supposed to be crying but I'm not, and it was because I didn't know what I was feeling. I didn't know what I was supposed to be feeling, because there's so many different genres, and that can work. Like a big example is Click, Adam Sandler's Click. Funny movie, but then you get to the end, you cry every time, but it works. It works because even though it's two totally different emotions in laughing and crying, it works for me because the transition, it might be very, very quick and abrupt, but the story doesn't lose what it's supposed to be. It stays true to what it is, and it's not out there, if that makes sense. This movie just felt a little all over the place with the tone, and if they had one or maybe 2 or 3 different genres, maybe like it was a drama, a comedy, or action, comedy, and drama, then it'd be okay. But when you throw in martial arts, when you throw in, an emotional film, and like I said, sci-fi, all this stuff, like it was too much for me. And it didn't really resonate in those big moments because of that. And I'll dive into that in a minute. But it just because of the tone, it threw me off. But in turn, it ruined some of the emotional moments. But other than that, this movie's incredible. I'll get into it in a minute in my pros, but I love that they took an idea of time travel and made it fresh. A fresh idea.
They really did.
So, and all the people that say Hollywood doesn't have original ideas, watch this movie. The Daniel brothers who directed it know their stuff. They're incredible. Unreal. Go watch some of the other stuff. They know how to make a story and make an original story and make it unique. And it doesn't always work, but it works in this movie and it works in a lot of their movies. Unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal. So, all right.
So what do you want to open up with? Pros or cons?
Oh, we need to go cons because I think there's less cons for sure. Yeah, so let's just dive into cons. I'll let you go first because I know you might only have one.
Yeah, I don't really know.
If that.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say like doing too much thinking. I really don't have cons for this movie. Um, I guess if I could think of something, it is the fact like I can, in a way, it's really weird because when you were saying your idea, I actually like I agree and disagree because I actually really like the fact that it's all over the place. It feels very different from normal movies, and I think that's what got me. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't feel like I felt like it was very unexpected at every moment, and usually I can predict everything in the film.
Which is what the
So
movie's
like,
supposed to be about. So I see what you're saying.
yeah,
It
right.
follows the movie. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
But at the same time, I do definitely like I finished it and I had to say to myself like, I want to watch this a second time, but I also need to watch it a second time. Like, you know what I mean? Like The
Dude,
Whale,
bro, that's
I
exactly.
love The Whale,
Oh,
but
oh
you
my
don't
god.
really need to watch that the second
Yes,
time.
you
But
want to
this
watch
one you
it. You
do.
don't need to. Dude, I said the
Yes.
exact same.
This one
Dude,
you need both. It's both.
I'm so Brayden. We have. I swear to God, we have the same brain. I said the
Dude, this
exact
is why you're
same
my brother,
thing.
man. This
We're
is why
brothers,
you
bro.
my brother from another mother, man.
Dog, I literally said the exact same thing. I was like, I wanted to watch The Whale, but this movie, I needed to watch it
Need
again.
to watch it again.
And I'll get into it in a minute. What I felt because I did watch it this morning again.
Because I
The first
think
40
there's
minutes.
a big part of like you're focusing on all of the main things, and like
Yes.
there are small things in the side. Like, you know what I mean? Like I did with The Whale last week. I do a little synopsis research, and I was looking at some like little hidden stuff, and like they have a little few. I only got a few minutes in because I wasn't trying to watch that. I was more looking for other stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I saw it, and I was like, wow, they they really like plan a lot. Like they were talking about the black hole, um like the laundromat at the very beginning of the movie, and this is a spoiler, everyone, spoiler alert. At the
The
beginning of the
movie came out
movie,
last year, so yeah.
yeah, right, if you haven't seen it,
Come on now.
you know, I don't know why it took us so long, but if you haven't seen it, you haven't
Yeah.
seen it. In the very beginning of the movie, she's looking, they own the laundromat, she's looking in the laundromat at this, it's black dark hole with just the clothes tossing, and it's really to foreshadow the future of the movie when they talk about the bagel with a black hole and the ending with the black hole. And I thought that was really crazy. I'm like, in the first 5 minutes, they literally like talk about the end, how Evelyn faces the black hole and sees her life fading away into it, and at the end she has to pull herself out of it. And I think that's a big thing that I actually really liked about her and Joy. Whereas her dad, she actually ends up becoming more like her dad than she thinks, where she resents him a lot for letting her go. She has to do the same at the end for Joy, or she knows she'll lose Joy forever, because her trying to force Joy to stay around after the whole incident, it's causing that strain on a relationship. But when she finally like, that was another big theme, putting yourself in the other person's shoes. Like I do that every day in my life with every single person, even the cashier I talk to when I order a coffee. Like, and
Wait,
that's a
hold on,
big thing of,
one thing. What kind of coffee you order? This is important.
so fun fact, this is gonna be crazy to everybody. I don't really drink it that often, so when I just go, I like look at the menu, I'm like, that looks good.
Dude, you got to get
It's
a
usually
mocha,
always
bro.
like iced.
Yeah, ice is the way. Yeah, I always get an ice mocha, bro. That's it. I'm
I get a
really simple.
frappuccino a lot.
That's respectable. That's
You know
respectable.
what? I got a freaking dark cold brew, and was like a cream foam layer on top.
Oh,
Yeah, it
yo,
was
it
alright.
went from Starbucks.
No, it's Dunkin'. It
Okay,
was alright.
Dunkin's the way to go. Dunkin.
Yeah,
Starbucks
yeah.
has this. We're getting off track, but Starbucks has this weird like taste. You know what I mean? You know that weird taste that it has. Like it's
It
like a
does.
kick. Like I know Dunkin's probably cheaper and more unhealthy, but I don't care, dude. It tastes better. I don't really care. I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
Not a long
Anyway,
time.
this is cons, so don't go too far into that right
You're
now.
right.
You
You're
got
right. You're
got
right.
to stay true. Got to stay
You're
true.
right.
But I see what you're saying though.
But yeah, I think it gets off. I guess you can see where it gets off track a little bit, but it's the fact of it's a pro and a con needing to watch it again. You know what I mean? That's about it.
Okay.
You got to watch it again to really grasp it. So, but I mean, in my eyes, it is a pro, but I can consider it a con, I guess.
Sure, sure. Yeah. So with me, like I said, it was.
I know. I almost wanted you to start because I really wanted to hear this.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, you can always rebuttal, and we could talk. So when I first watched this movie last night or this morning at 1 o'clock in the morning, I was sitting there and I was
What is
and
that, 9?
yeah, bro, I was sitting there and I was like, number one, I texted you in the middle of it. I was like, what the hell am I watching? I was like, I
Yes,
feel
you
like
did.
I just like ate a crap ton of shrooms. You know what I mean? And then as the story progresses, it starts to open up a little bit. And you're like, oh, wow, wow, wow. But then at the end, like I said, I stopped watching and I was like, something's off. I didn't know what it was. I don't want to talk about it because we'll get to the pros. I loved so many different aspects. Some of the best displays of those different aspects I've ever seen in any film. And we'll get to that in a second. Martial arts. It was, I was like, I really, really love the movie, but I'm not crazy about it. So what's stopping me from getting there? You know what I mean? So it was 1:00 in the morning, so I went to sleep, because I had to wake up early this morning. I had to run some errands and stuff. That's exactly what I did. Woke up, did some stuff, went to Walmart, all the fun St. Cloud stuff we do. And then saw some, crazy people. And then, when I got back, I was like, all right, yeah, that's St. Cloud. Never know what you're going to run into. Dude, there was a guy on, like one of those like really small, like bikes, those little motorbikes, but the really, really like miniature ones.
God.
Going down 192, bro. In one of those things. Anyway, by the way, 192 is a big like highway road here in St. Cloud, and it was going like 30 miles an hour. I was like, this is not good.
That's crazy.
But anyway, dude, I love this town so much. So when I got back, I was like, all right, I need to watch just the first 30, 40 minutes and let this process. When I first got back, I watched reviews. Because usually when I watch reviews, it helps me kind of open up my thoughts. I don't copy what other people are saying, but you know what I mean? It helps like kind of you figure out what you feel and what you're thinking. Helps those ideas formulate. That didn't help at all, which never happens. I usually know my...
Really?
Dude, I was in the same exact place. I was like, what is happening to me right now? And then I watched the first 30, I think it was probably first 42 minutes, I think is what it was exactly. And I sat there and I was like, holy shit, I know what it is. It was because, once again, like I said earlier, there were so many different tones. And it went from one to the other that I couldn't grasp on one moment. Because I remember thinking, I was like, for some reason, I'm really intrigued in this moment, but then not intrigued here. And then I'm intrigued again, then I'm not intrigued here. Is because in those moments I was intrigued, I knew the tone it was going for. In the other moments, I didn't know what the tone was. So I wasn't intrigued as much. Tone is everything in a movie. And Brayden can attest to this. And every actor and producer and director and whatever it is, and writer can attest to that. Mood and tone is everything in a movie. Whether that's the lighting, whether that's the audio levels, whether that's the camera, cinematography, whatever it is, the mood and tone is what makes or breaks a movie, especially in horror. And this movie had a thriller and horror element to it. It was just, the tone was all over the place for me. And because of that, I couldn't connect with the film in some aspects. So that's the one thing that got me. So I actually rewatched, like I said, the first 42 minutes, and that's what helped me out. Like you said, I noticed a lot of fun little things at the beginning that were kind of like foreshadowing, whether that's or just kind of like watching the beginning when she's first introduced to the Waymond from the Alphaverse or whatever. Like you notice the weird things and you put two and two together. It's fun. It's a fun little puzzle basically. And you guys know how that is when you watch like a plot twist movie. You put little pieces together and they show things. That's exactly what the Daniel brothers did. Or not the Daniel brothers. They're called the Daniels. It's exactly what they did. They did an incredible job with it. But I just once again did not feel. It felt off. And I didn't know why. And then I watched it, and it was the not necessarily the pacing, but the tone. I thought it was the pacing. I thought it might have been the pacing. I was like, dude, the pacing is terrible in this movie. And then I went back and watched it. I was like, no, the pacing's actually okay. And it does jump a little bit, but that's because this movie is everything everywhere all at once. Multiverses are involved, multiverse jumping.
I was going to say
you're flipped out. So I understand why, in your opinion, you're like, oh, well, that's what the movie's supposed to be about. You're right. That's probably what they were going for.
It got what it went for. Yeah.
Right. But it's a double-edged sword. Mm-hmm. That's what it was going for. But then what about the tones and people like me? Mood and atmosphere and tone. Big shout out to my boy Dave McCrae, the YouTuber. He always goes, mood and atmosphere. That's exactly what it was. Mm-hmm. And I'm a big mood and atmosphere and tone kind of guy. So that's probably my biggest thing, actually. And engagement. And that's what tone and atmosphere is. It engages me. That's when we did the review for The Whale. I always talked about engagement. It's because the tone is a big part of that engagement. Yeah. And this movie, the tone didn't, even though this movie was so good in other aspects, I was still engaged. But the tone didn't keep me consistently engaged.
I can see what you're
But does
saying
that
though,
make
because you
sense?
go
But there
from
was
like a
bright
love
moments.
scene straight into a freaking fight scene.
Yeah.
So like it's hard to get super intimate when you see a karate kick coming straight for their jaw as they're about to kick. Like you know what I mean? Like so I do get what you're saying.
And not even that, but like you still felt you can jump from one scene to the other like that. We've seen plenty of movies do that. A lot of Marvel movies, superhero movies do that. And that's basically what this was. This was basically what Marvel really wants to do. You know what I mean? They want to have a movie like this. That's exactly what it was. It was beautiful, beautiful superhero movie in a way, kind of a superhero movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so where was I going with that? Dang it, what was I saying? I just totally lost track.
Superhero movies.
No, before that.
I don't know.
Dang it,
I know
bro.
I heard something in my house and I was like
Yeah,
freaking out.
I saw that too, and that's what kind of threw me off. Oh man, dang it, dang it, dang it. Everybody listening's like
Yeah, I do
screaming at me right
apologize.
now. No, you're good,
Sorry,
you're good, you're
guys.
good. Dang it. No, oh no, sorry. So I've seen that happen before with the scenes jumping from like one thing to the other and the tones being way off.
Yes.
But with this movie, for some reason, you felt the tone of the previous scene, of the previous sequence that was still kind of like luring in that area and like luring on screen. So that's the one thing that took me out of it. It's okay if you go from one tone to the other, one scene from the other like that pretty abruptly. That's fine. I'm a big fan of movies that do that, but and like horror movies have comedy, right? But they go from a funny scene to someone getting their head cut off, but you don't feel the previous tone dragging itself into this scene, the next scene. That's what this movie did. So next time you watch it, kind of think about that, and you might realize that. And once again, you might have the same thought or same idea of or perspective of that's what the movie's supposed to be, but I don't like when it lures and overshadows the tone that's supposed to be there. It doesn't allow that tone to build up. That's why some movies need to take a breather, and a breathing moment is so important because it gives some space in between the tones. The Whale, in my opinion, gave too many breathers and didn't have enough big moments. And it allowed those tones to be set, but then you got bored of those tones and you wanted something new and fresh. That's why I always said, give me something to grab onto, because there's nothing there. And I was in this one tone setting and I need to feel something. This
somewhere
movie,
else, yeah.
Right. And this movie,
There needs to be somewhere you can go.
It's so funny that we did these movies back to back because they're polar opposites. I went from not feeling anything to wanting to feel something to feeling every emotion possible. So it's so funny we did these movies back to back. It's actually really poetic. But that's my biggest con, man, is the pacing and how it jumps from one not the pacing, but how it jumps from one tone to the other, and how the tones lure over the entire thing, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean I get what you're saying. That's phenomenal take.
Yeah. That's just kind of what I was feeling, but it's so funny that I actually had to rewatch it because, like I said, I usually will just take time and I'll usually watch reviews and I'll be okay, but I've never felt this way with any movie ever. Congratulations, Daniels. You screwed me up mentally. I didn't know what was happening, and
good.
even after I watched it, I feel like I was still watching the movie with everything going on. And it took me that long to really let the ideas formulate, and I don't even think the ideas are even formulated now. I really don't. I think I have to watch the entire movie again, and really the ending especially, because the ending I feel like I missed a lot, and I need to definitely watch it again. And it's probably a movie that you can watch 5 times and still miss a crap ton toward the end.
I was gonna say, I feel like I misunderstood the beginning more than the ending.
In what sense?
I was just like, where I feel I was more like where you felt throughout the movie. That's where I felt at the beginning. Like for the first 40 minutes, I was like, we go from like the first 20 minutes of a normal movie, then we start introducing the multiverse stuff, and I feel like not that it was rushed, but it all happened so quick, and then I was like, what the hell? But then once I got an idea of what was happening, then I was like, everything like started clicking together. You know what I mean?
I'm the exact opposite. The first hour of this movie, dude, it's so funny because that's why I love this podcast. We have such different takes. The first hour of this movie is one of the best crafted movies. It probably top 10 movie for me.
Oh, it was so good. Yeah.
But then after that, once they did start introducing the verse stuff or whatever, you know, you go from guys jumping on, you know, butt plugs to hot dog fingers to rocks. It's like, what what are we doing? Like, it was so, and I understand why it's abrupt, but you still feel the tones from the scene before that.
Yeah.
Dude, once they showed the hot dog fingers, that's all I could think about the rest of the freaking movie. That was it. I just thought of like hot dog finger. Like, it was weird. And like, they were sitting there talking as rocks, and I'm like, bro, are they like raw hot dogs? I was just thinking, like, it was so weird. Like, I don't know why, bro. It was just so strange, and that's the one thing that got me. Is the tones didn't go over, but that's basically the main cons for me, and it's so funny that we have different takes on that, because the first hour, dude, I was glued to the screen, and then after that, they kind of lost me a little bit, and that's when I kind of sat back against my bed and kind of laid down a little bit and kind of just enjoyed it instead of really engaging with it, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, the first hour, I was sitting up watching it, like, straight up engaged.
Yeah. You know what's really funny? That rock scene, I think I already said this. That rock scene was totally my favorite. Like, actually, crazily, like, artistically, my favorite scene.
Especially when she starts moving toward her.
I loved it. Yeah. Like,
okay, before let's dive into the pros then, so we can make this a little more organized. This podcast isn't organized at all. Yeah. So yeah, let's go to.
Cares?
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah, let's go to pros, man. Let's keep going with that theme. The rock stuff. Yeah, I love when she moved toward it. It was so like. Once again, I understood it and I felt it, but I was still thinking about hot dog fingers and glizzies. You know what I'm saying?
So
like,
I totally understand.
What? Like, I don't know, bro.
I totally understand. I have some themes that I actually came up with, that I got from it.
Let's hear them.
Yeah. So I already went over make the best out of a bad situation. I think you should do that in life, and anything you do, you know what I mean? Like, that's what they kind of did. And I was actually talking with my mom. It's really reflective, because a big comment for me that they made in the movie is that this Evelyn is pretty much the worst reality of all of the Evelyns. All of the Evelyns went on to accomplish, like, high and mighty things and actually become super successful. But this Evelyn didn't. And I think that's what made for such an interesting character to take the helm. And I also think it makes it really interesting when you look back at Wayman's character. In every universe, he was always there. He always came back. You know what I mean? And then the only one was that Glizzy universe. And from that, when I was watching a video earlier, I actually really resonated with this one. It was kind of like a big thing about this movie is perspective, the way you look at perspectives. And it's like, you could hate someone and you could want the worst for them. You could want them to die. Pardon the French. But if you change your perspective
a line
on
from
the
movie, that was great.
Pardon my French.
That was great.
Yeah. If you change your perspective on things, the entire situation can change. You know what I mean? And I thought that was so interesting. And a big part of Wayman's character was that he was a very, like, he wasn't pathetic like Charlie was in The Whale, but he was a little bit naive, and he was trying to be this little, almost like a jester. And it's admirable because he's always trying to put on the best front for everyone and give them a good mood. But at the same time, he gets taken advantage of for that. But in Evelyn's perspective, she starts to change, and she realizes, like, I don't have to fight. I need to fight like Wayman, fight very friendly. And that was another big theme for me. Like, the good will always beat the evil. It's always going to triumph. You know what I mean? I'm trying to look at this right now. Yeah. They ended up changing sides practically. She thought that he was, like I said, naive, and then she becomes the naive one herself, looking at the positives. But
love that character development, by the way. Unreal.
Unreal.
And they kept the structure of the character. That's not the word I'm looking for, but they kept the essence, there we go, of the character, but they let it develop. I love to see that. Oh my God, it makes me so happy.
Yeah.
Insane stuff. I'll keep letting you go, because this is kind of your segment for pros, so keep going.
No, yeah, I only got like one or two more things. But I think one thing that was interesting is, out of all the possibilities, you know what I mean, and no matter how much Evelyn and Joy were on like different ends, and even Evelyn and Wayman were on different ends, they all at the end would rather be a low-income American family with tax problems than be movie stars or kung fu masters or chefs, because that's what matters in life. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter about getting all the glam and glory. It's about finding, true people and having true intentions and just getting that in life, because a lot of people don't. And that leads back to my biggest point of this whole film, and I think they touched on it perfectly at the end. This is really why I started crying. It's like nothing matters, really. And I don't mean that in like a super bad way. I know a lot of people, including my mom, like she thinks I mean it in like a very saddening way, but truly nothing matters, The significance that we put on such belittling and stupid, small, toxic topics is just so stupid. Like, you should be concerned with what's in front of you and
Exactly.
appreciate that, and malnourish all of the things you can from that before it's gone, because then you have a life of resentment because of that. And that's what shows. At first, Evelyn was like, she tells Wayman straight to his face, she was like, my life was so fantastic without you. Like, every life I had that you weren't with me, it was amazing.
So
And then
cold.
he's freaking heartbroken. He's
Yeah.
destroyed. He's destroyed. And this is something I want to touch on. He asked for a divorce. I actually realized watching the movie, I had to go back a little bit too. He doesn't ask for a divorce because he wants one. He's making the point that she never would sit down and acknowledge something unless it was important and it was crazy. Like, they have 1 week before the whole place gets taken away. She won't listen unless he finally is like, we have a week and we're gone. Then he puts a divorce papers in front of her, not because he wants a divorce, just so he can get her attention. And that's the whole perspective. You don't realize, like, Wayman's character throughout the movie I love him because he's just
Oh,
so
dude.
like, he's the horse, man. He's the freaking horse that carries, the rider on his back.
Just,
Like,
just
he's
he
just
carries the movie. And let me just insert here for a second, bro. I back
absolutely.
to that scene where she breaks his heart. The one listen, in the midst of all the tone changes, like I said, that threw me off. The one line that really hit me, and that when he said this line, when Wayman said this line out loud, I said, "Wow!" Like, it was a gut punch. He said, "So even though you broke my heart again, I wanted to say in another life, I would have really liked just doing laundry and taxes with you."
Yes, with you. Oh
Bro,
my God.
oh my
Dude, I got
God. It's
emotional from
such
that
a
one.
simple line. And even, dude, and you know what's good, like I said, when in the midst of all the tone changes, I wasn't really feeling it and engaged. That line, dude, really, really hit me. And I think it's because Wayman's a character that I just love to death. And like you
I
said,
do.
when they first walk into the IRS building, he looks over at the old Asian couple, and you could just see in his face, which, by the way, big shout out to Ki, is it Ki Kwan? Ki Kwan? What is it?
One, I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, I'll call him Key.
Key, we're gonna
By the
call you
way,
Key.
Goonies guy, Indiana Jones, my guy. Anyway, he big amazing debut. 30 years after 40 years, he came back and killed it. I loved his character so much, man. He did such a good job
So
with it.
much.
And when that camera pans to his face after he sees the old Asian couple, you see pain, hurt, that he still loves this lady, but she doesn't. She might love him, but I don't even know that really. She just doesn't have the time. She
The
doesn't take the
problems of
time
her
to.
life, yeah, that's a big thing. Like, she has no time because of all of her problems. She's so self-focused on her
Which
own things.
is a big theme. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Appreciate what you have. And when he said that line, that theme, like, just
Hit me, bro.
hit me in the face. Like, just
Yeah.
Mike Tyson right there, bro. I was like, oh my God, I love this movie. So the more I talk about it, I think the more I watch, this is a movie that I think, and there's not a lot of movies like this for me. The more I watch it, the more I'm going to love it.
Love
so,
it.
And so what we
Absolutely.
should do, Brayden, is every year we should do a top 10 movies list in January. And
Oh, yeah.
just to see what films, because we're going to watch a crap ton of movies. We're watching at least one movie every week.
You know what we could
that's
do?
50 movies a year.
Great idea right here on the potty. We do
Yep.
one at the beginning of the year for all the movies upcoming on what we think is going to be the top 10. At the end of the year, do the top 10, see how close we thought, and see how accurate we were.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. Because you see the new releases and stuff and see if any actually
Mm-hmm.
get up. But yeah, dude, this film just with the themes, dude. I knew you'd like it too, right? Is that right? You said that line. I'm like, yep, Braden's crying right now.
Dude.
You both feeling it.
For real.
And I was feeling it. It was like something was locked inside, and just the themes were like not. The tone wasn't letting it get out. Like that's what was blocking me. So I made the analogy last week of the chum in the water with the sharks and stuff, and how you need I'm the
There's
shark.
tons of chum.
Yeah, that
This is a chum bucket.
The boats, yeah, exactly. The boats, the movie, and all the people on it are the directors and stuff, and how you have to throw out Chum to bring in the audience. I wanted Chum when it comes to this is such a stupid analogy, when it comes to the whale, but with this movie, there was too much. I'm just gonna stop. Let's just move on to the next thing. So yeah, that's like, it was just this movie, just the theme, bro, that was beautiful. The themes were beautiful. But that's the one I had to cut you off right there, brother, because I had to say that is the one line that hit me so hard, and it was with Wayman's character. And Wayman is just, I fell in love with this character, man. And seeing, spoiler alert, Alpha verse of him die hit me a little bit.
Hit me too.
Yeah.
Well, she even goes to the point where she stabs him at the end, and then it kind of gets like reversed. You know what I mean? That part confused me a little bit because I totally like watched him like, almost die. She stabbed him, and then he was okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, bro. What was that? I thought the same thing. I was like, is he still? Right? But you saw the blood too. The blood was still there. I was like, is he falling? Is he getting up?
I know. Out of nowhere, he's stupid. Like in the way of the people. Yeah. We can't. I'm like,
yeah.
This guy's Iron Man.
Yeah, but it was kind of a small glass shard. But if you get stabbed in the stomach, you're gonna be dead. I mean,
or at least like even if it was like this, I feel like they reversed the whole thing.
Yeah, I totally agree. It was that was a really weird part, but I'll let that pass. This movie was perfect.
I watched it at 9 a.m. when I woke up, so I need to go back and watch it. Obviously.
Yeah, you definitely do. Sleep on it, and like what I love about this podcast is we do it every week. So we talked about the whale and how our opinions have changed of the whale, and we get to talk about how everything everywhere all at once might have changed next week on next week's podcast. So, which we're probably gonna do Ant-Man as the movie, which would be pretty cool. Pretty happy about that. Yes, sir. A little sneak peek. Y'all know what's up. Just a little bit. But no, so yeah, I'll let you continue what you were saying about his character and everything.
Yeah, no, just to finalize on that topic, like that speech at the end that he gives to the people, and I think that was a big turning point for Evelyn as well. It's like he was preaching about how we just need to love each other, and like, why do we always have to fight? Like, why do you think that is like the necessary way about going about things? And it's just like his character is the epitome of like what gives me faith in humanity, and
which is what he was supposed to be in the movie. That's exactly what he was symbolizing.
Exactly. Yeah. And yeah, man, they all deserve some awards. It was so good. And like I said, that ending really touched me. Like the rock scene, that's kind of when they like really first touched on it. But I think the entire last like 25 minutes is all about like nothing really mattering. Evelyn decides to like purposely destroy everything in all of her lives before she twists it around and like makes it right at the end. But it just kind of is a big theme of like none of it matters, and focusing on wanting to be this, you will always forever. If you're here and you always think about how you could have been here, you're gonna feel like you're here. Okay, your mindset's gonna be below basement, and that's a big thing. Is like, don't worry about that, man. You know what I mean?
Sorry to all the people listening on Spotify that weren't able to see that. The little visual.
Yeah, I'm doing the level. It was like a 10 to a 4 to a below basement negative.
Well, actually, though, so Spotify released that new update where you can like actually watch podcasts on Spotify. So, but you're probably listening it to your car. You're not able to watch it. But yeah, no, I just had to say that real quick. Just so you're like, what is this guy talking about?
Really sorry.
Yeah.
No. Envision it.
Exactly. Just imagine our beautiful faces. That's all you got to do. That's it.
But dude, it's like it's up there.
We'll rate it.
Score at the end.
We'll get to it. I almost had like a 9-something. All right. So no, I want to say something real quick, and I want to expand on this, man. Let's talk about Stephanie Sue, man, as Joy. She was.
I won't even lie to you.
Like might be the star of the movie.
Say the one like I was gonna say most impressive acting to me, maybe. Like the way, because her character was constantly changing emotions. She would go from sobbing to laughing, and she'd be funny, and then she'd go like, "Hey there, partner," and I'm like, "What the hell? You're doing accents? You're doing?" Like,
I don't remember that.
No, like yeah. Well, you get the gist.
No, I feel it. I feel it. Yeah. No, her wasn't really character development because she was different versions.
I don't know what she's saying. That's what I was doing. It all in the bagel.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She unreal. I forgot the villain name. What's the name of the? I can't remember it. Do you? The villain.
Abba Chewbacca.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know what it was. Something weird. And
it's like Abu Taku or something, or
dude,
something like that, man.
Like I said, remember I said earlier how all the characters were different when they did the different multiverse like things or whatever, but they kept the essence of the character. She didn't, but that's okay because that character is not the same character they were until the end. You start seeing her kind of come out a little bit with the rocks and everything like that, which we'll get to that in a second. But she obviously, that Evelyn obviously, forced her into this lifestyle, and that's why she is the way she is. And she has gotten so caught up in experiencing. I mean, dude, if I was experiencing every single moment of every single one of my lives and every single multiverse at every single moment, everything everywhere all at once, I'd probably be crazy too. And she can't do anything about it. She has she's trying to figure out a way to stop it. So she's not the same person she was, not even a little bit until the end. And she played that perfectly. Stephanie's range, bro, unreal. Really, really good. My favorite person still in this movie, though, is Waymond, Ki Hai-kwan. But gotcha. she really, I think, stood out the most with how different she was.
I agree.
I was not expecting her to be the villain. When that was revealed, you probably were surprised, too. I was like, what's happening right now? I was like, dude, what? And because they didn't have there was no clues leading up to that at all. And then they did it, and I could not believe it. And she just, the way she went in and out of, and then toward the end, you see her character as Joy again, and then she's the villain again, and it was beautiful. And then toward the end, which I said earlier that I'd get to, when everything's kind of taking place in the final act, which actually was my least favorite part of the movie, was the final act, believe it or not. I love the first and second act, and third act, I was like, okay. Also, the final 2 chapters were like 10 minutes each. You saw that too, right? You saw that? It was like the first chapter said part 1. I was like, oh, this is cool. Everything. I was like, all right.
It was like part 1 was like an hour and a half. Part 2 was like half an hour. Part 3 was like 15 minutes.
I know. It was so strange. But anyway, toward the end, you start seeing her character kind of, you see a little bit of Joy in that character again. Joy, the emotion, but Joy, the person. And, and she played that so well, bro. I mean, unreal. Like, you don't want to do it too much, but you don't want to do it too little. Stephanie, you're not watching this. You're incredible. The way she played that, dude. I mean, unreal. She needs to be.
I honestly would have even gone to the point and say she could have gotten nominated.
100%. I mean, unreal, man. Did Ki Hai-kwan?
Kind of shapped young actors a lot.
Do you know the Oscar nominations this movie got?
It's the most leading the Oscars. Has 11. I know.
Oh, that's not good. 1 second.
Key got one. I know.
Oh, he got one. Okay, cool.
He did. Are you looking?
And yeah, I was going to. And then Michelle got one. I know got Best Picture, Best Cinematography. I don't know what it got, but it was unreal. Yeah, it's got a crap ton of awards, and listen, I'm an Elvis stan. Love that movie to death, but this movie deserves a lot. It really does. Oh
my gosh, dude!
And the week before the Oscars, we are going to do our nomination predictions and our predictions on who we think should win, who we think is going to win, stuff like that. So be ready for that.
Dude, they all got nominated. That's insane.
Every single one,
except for
James Hong.
Yes.
Okay, that's yeah.
But
he was barely in it.
Michelle, Stephanie, Jamie, and Key all got nominated.
That is unbelievable.
Oh my gosh,
dude!
Because Stephanie and Jamie are they're going up against each other. I think Key wins it. I think he wins Best Supporting.
Wait, Stephanie and Jamie, what nomination is that?
Best Supporting.
But Key's Best Supporting as well.
Yes, sir.
So there's 3 of them going against each other.
Yeah, but he'll be in male.
Oh, male. Yeah, male. So Stephanie and Jamie Lee, dude, Stephanie deserves that one. Jamie Lee. I love you, Jamie Lee Curtis. Please, I love you.
Yeah.
But
hers was Stephanie, a little more of a lead part.
Yeah. And had more of an emotional impact, I think.
Exactly.
And carried the movie very you didn't really notice it. Kind of under the radar a little bit, but she carried it.
But I 100% carried the movie. Was literally the backbone in the entire movie.
Stephanie, unreal. But Jamie Lee Curtis was great as well. I hope Stephanie wins that though. I don't know who else they're against, but I don't care. That goes to them. And then Hugh Kwan, if he's supporting as well, he deserves it. But
we can go over it right now.
Yeah, go through each one.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Go through each one.
Brendan Gleeson and Barry Keoghan, both for the Banshees of Inisherin. They're both getting.
I need to watch that movie. We need to do that movie, dude. But we won't be able to by the time the Oscars comes out. So we just need to watch it by ourselves and then, or like watch it with each other, whatever we need to do, and then review it after the Oscars because we have a lot of big movies coming out these next few weeks leading up to the Oscars. So we have a movie every week in theaters, I think.
Absolutely, yeah, dude. We were talking about that earlier. I'm super hyped. There's a lot of good movies.
Loaded. And like I said, the week before, dude, we're gonna go through each nomination, every single one, each character, everything. So.
I won't lie. I am so excited for Mario. Like, we are gonna trash on that movie if it's bad. I'm telling you right now.
I'm so nervous.
I keep seeing Chris Pratt. I've seen Chris Pratt every freaking day post on social media how good this movie is gonna be. Oh, I have it even to Mario. No, I've heard your voice, bud.
Yeah,
it sounds like the next Jurassic Park. That's all I'm hearing. And if it's not good, I'm gonna rail on you for it.
To be honest, and this is just my opinion on this. When you get back to the movie after this, but I do like a little bit. Like I couldn't listen to the main Mario voice actor of the entire movie. There's no way. I get it's iconic, but it's way too cartoony to listen to for an hour and 30 minutes. I'm sorry. There's no way I could do that. Like video games is fine, but it's just too much. From what I've heard, I've looked into it probably a little more than you have. Like I'm so excited. There's something there, but it's very subtle and it works for me. Like I'm not really worried about the voice. The main thing I'm worrying about with this movie, and I'm so scared, is it's going to be like every other kids movie in the past 5 years where it's so over the top, so cartoonish, almost where it's not enjoyable. Does that make sense? Like it's like it's that stupid comedy. If that makes it like really slapstick.
It is Illuminations though, right?
It is Illumination, and Illumination is known for doing some pretty good stuff.
Yeah,
but
I was gonna say
Moana, in my opinion, is the last or I guess Coco didn't really have it either. But Moana is probably the last really grounded movie where there's fun kid comedy, but it's not over the top where an adult can't enjoy it. They got to realize there's going to be more adults watching this movie than kids. That's what it's going to be. Kids my age and then 40-year-olds that played that game when they were kids on Nintendo. So don't mess it up. It's only an hour and 15 minutes, hour 20 minutes, which is unreal. It deserves way more time than that. I expected a 2-hour movie, but whatever.
Probably be another one.
We'll see. But the trailers have been a little bit on the slapstick side. So the first one was beautiful, but the new trailers are getting a little slapstick. So I'm really cautious now. I'm kind of holding my expectations, but we'll get to that in another episode for sure. But we need to kind of stick with the theme of this, with everything everywhere all at once. Another thing I want to get to, bro. Something that this movie did everything beautifully, but the one thing that stood out to me, I'm a huge fan of Jackie Chan. I love old.
You liked that,
dude?
Too?
I love Asian martial arts movies.
Yeah.
This movie had two of the best.
To him,
oh yeah,
with her being that actor.
And listen, this had two of the best martial arts scenes I've ever seen. Ever seen. The one with the fanny pack, which was hilarious.
I was just about to say, yep.
And then the next one with when Michelle Evelyn's fighting the two guys, remember? Right toward the end, kind of close to the third act. It was late second act, I think.
Is that the butt plug scene?
Bro, I knew right when Jamie Lee Curtis
swinging 2 dildos.
Dog, when she. Oh my God, yeah, dude.
Fucking nunchucks. She comes out with 2 12-inch dildos.
Bro, dude,
maybe 20-inch.
Dude, 100%. No, they were 30. No, it wasn't Evelyn. It was that was Stephanie.
Joy.
Yeah, that was Joy.
Sorry, I was saying Evelyn. Joy.
Dude,
Joy comes
my God, that had me. I didn't even laugh.
And
I was just
surprised.
surprised.
Playing in that moment too was just, but not the most
serious,
straight face, swinging 30-inch dildos.
And then you'd go to something super serious and go back to funny. So that's the big problem. They didn't stick with the this movie is like I said, it's so goofy, but then it's so serious, and I hate that. Stick with one,
Give
please.
15 minutes of relaxed time to
exactly
in between everything. thing.
Right. But then you ruin the pacing and the quickness of what the movie's supposed to be. So it's a double-edged sword. Like I said, the Daniel brothers, I think, did the best possible version of this movie. It's just, do you make a... I feel like this has more of an upside than those little breathing areas would. I feel like, from what I've seen, more people will love this movie than feel how I feel. I haven't seen one person actually have the feeling I have on this movie. Not one. I'm sure they're out there. But there are bad reviews of this movie, but none of them say... I know. Who's this dude? Yeah, this is going to be Brayden's podcast after this. Brayden's POV.
Brayden's POV. Guys.
Yeah, he's not here anymore. So yeah, that's it. I think this had more of an upside, this version of the movie. But yeah, that's the one thing that kind of ruined it. But it had some really funny moments, some really sad moments, some really emotional moments, and I just didn't really get to feel all of them. But no, those two martial arts scene, bro, the way that they were just choreographed and they had humor in them.
Really, yeah.
But they felt right, and some of the best fighting scenes, like I said, I've seen.
I was gonna say it's super impressive that they were all like. Of course, maybe certain scenes there were stunt doubles, but you could tell a lot of the scenes it was them choreographing those fights. Like,
oh
you know
no,
what I mean?
Dude, Michelle and Kyu Kwan, they both are known for their skills in fighting. Most of that was real. That was really them, especially Kyu Kwan. So I'm butchering his name. I know it. When he took his big hiatus, that 30-year break or whatever, he was still in the movie industry. He just wasn't on camera because of how they treated Asian actors back in the day. It was actually pretty sad how he stopped, being in the movies.
On the Actors Roundtable.
Yeah, it's messed up. But and Crazy Rich Asians is actually what got him back into it, bro. Believe it or not, that movie's actually what got him into it, which Michelle was part of. But anyway, in his big hiatus, he worked behind the camera. He was I think a producer. He was also a stunt guy. So he was known for the martial arts stuff. So he worked on that. And it showed off, and it paid off in this film. I mean, I want to see him in more. I want to see every single person on this cast in more stuff.
In more.
And
so much more.
In more. And you know what's crazy? Open the door. And
Stop, yo. Oh my god, I just saw a video on that today. Open your door. Open your door.
Jesus, dude. I'm sorry, you guys gotta listen to us. But even Jamie Lee Curtis, dude, someone who's been around for 40 years, has been around literally for 43 years, 44 years, delivers one of her best performances to this day. One of her best performances to this day. And she's been in Freaky Friday. Don't give me that look. Freaky Friday, Halloween.
I'm terrible. I'm done.
So that's what's so beautiful about it is these actors have been around for years, especially James Hong, but it's they just deliver these incredible performances, and some of their best to this day. This is Michelle Yeoh's best performance to this day. I'll stand behind that, and she's been in this industry for 20 plus years now.
I know. I think I'd go to say it's all of theirs. You know what I mean? Like maybe
not Jamie Lee Curtis. I'm the Halloween stand.
The main three. I would say. Yeah. Top notch, man. Like I sincerely do think this. I sincerely think it's gonna get Best Picture. It's that or I don't know.
Let's for a while. So yeah, we'll talk about that. I've say about that, but we're not going to. So make sure you come back for that episode. Like I said, it'll be the week before the Oscars, so I believe that's the last week of February.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We should try and do that. We should try and see all the Oscar noms for Best Picture.
Oh yeah, no, dude, we're gonna do all nominations. We're gonna do every single nomination. We're gonna go through and kind of speed run it and go through each person get nominated. It's gonna be a long episode. We might even just dedicate the entire episode to that. You know what I mean? Because it'll be so long going. There's so many categories, dude, that we have to go through, and we'll give our take on each movie, and we'll try to watch all the movies that are nominated and all performances as well, which is gonna be tough, but we'll try to get to it for sure. We'll figure it out, but especially that one Irish one, dude. With Colin Farrell, right?
Of Irishman.
Yeah, looks crazy. I love Colin Farrell too. He's unreal, so I can't wait. I need to watch that. But
I was saying, two of the guys that were supporting leads, they both got nominated.
So it's basically Everything Everywhere All at Once, but just the Irish version. Yeah, exactly. The more serious version. I think actually I might like that movie more than this one because it feels like it has more of a
comedy.
It's a comedy.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I didn't know that. It gives also
Let me
such a
look it
like
up.
serious
Could be
tone,
wrong.
bro.
That's
Look
what
at the
I thought,
poster
too,
and those little clips. It's so serious, and it's Colin Farrell.
That's what I thought. But
Colin
then
Farrell
I saw
does comedy?
one clip. Yeah, he was making this freaking joke.
That's
Hold on,
funny.
I'm looking it up. It's a drama comedy.
Drama comedy. See, that works because it's only 2 genres. Anyway, I'll shut up. But no, so that's pretty much everything we wanted to say. We've been talking about this movie for like 40 minutes, but it's gonna be a long little clip I got to post on YouTube, but it's gonna be great. And this right here shows how passionate we both are about this movie, or at least I am. I wasn't as interested in The Whale, so I didn't have a lot to say. But this movie,
I won't lie. This movie has me. Yeah. I would say Brendan Fraser's performance sits up here with the movie for me, but everything else is like boom.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like this movie blows. No offense, blows it out of the water.
Yeah. No, it's not even close, in my opinion.
And I think one last comment on this.
Yep.
The editing, I think deserves. Absolutely deserves the nom.
Every technical part was unbelievable. The Daniels, man, those 2 guys. I'm
a big mirror shot dude. I don't know if.
Oh my god, that's one thing I want to talk about.
Mirror shot.
Jesus, when she makes a decision, you see the 3 different verses, dude. Bro. Oh my god, dude, I got like a movie boner. It was amazing. So yeah, that's no, dude, it was amazing. So you need to watch more of the Daniels movies, bro. I'm serious. After this, I'll give you some movies. They've had a couple really good ones. They're so unique. They never do like remakes. It's always a unique take, bro. So you need to, if you enjoyed like their editing and directing style, dude, you need to watch some of that stuff. It's unreal. This is not my first movie with them. They're insanely talented, and I didn't even know they were directing until after I watched the movie. I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I see some of the similarities.
Makes more sense. Yeah.
Just a little bit. Open your door. Okay. So it messed me up. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's do our final ratings, bro. Let's do our ratings real quick. You go first. Or do you want me to go first?
You.
Okay. I'm going to give this movie, if the pacing, or not the pacing, I keep saying pacing, because it affected the pacing. If the tone was on point, this movie is probably a 9.6 for me. But it wasn't there. It's an 8 point. It's an 8. Give me a second. Let me process this. It's probably an 8.8 for me. I'm gonna give it an 8.8, almost an A plus. It's an A for me, an A movie, almost an A plus. It's, or 8.8 would be a B plus. So I'm just, there you go. That's how dumb I am. There's a little bit of my IQ showing. So it's a B plus, really high B plus, almost an A movie. I feel like it is an A movie though, but you know what I mean. It's an A movie, but an 8.8. I'm not gonna let those correlate. That's just crap. So 8.8 out of 10. Like I said, dude, if it had the right tone, I would have felt emotions more. It would be an 9.7, 9.6, because it was so beautiful. Bumping it up to an 8.9. We're going 8.9. 8.9 out of 10. The more I talk about it, the more I think. Yeah.
Because everyone who's watching on YouTube is going to see my face. 9.6 was my rating.
Oh, for real?
Like, 9.6, I went.
Oh, dude, let's go. Yeah. Let's go. So see,
we
at least we feel the same way.
And that's the funny thing though, because you said literally that's something I enjoyed that you thought was a con. So that's funny that it's a 9.6 for
It's
me.
Perfect. So it's exactly, that's hilarious, bro. So we pretty much have the same exact thoughts on the movie, other than the weird tone thing that was going on. But yeah, so 9.6 out of 10 and an 8.9. If you guys haven't
seen it, that's a must-have. Like, must-have in life. You should see it.
One of the best movies in the past 20 years.
It'll change your perspective on things, you know what I mean?
And it's new, it's fresh, it's a new take. So a beautiful, beautiful film that I absolutely adore. So everything, everywhere, all at once. If you're watching the clip on YouTube after this, thank you guys so much for watching. And subscribe, like, and all that fun stuff.
It.
Yeah. All right. So next segment we have
acting news.
I have 3 big acting news
This
going on.
Justin Logan Allen, he's here and he's gonna tell us some acting news. Everybody,
my boy, hold up now, dude. You could be like that was actually pretty far.
I'm a sports analyst,
dog.
Back in the high school, you know what I mean,
dude. Listen, I would believe you. So some big acting news, and we have box office stuff as well. Which box office, like I said, we can't really talk about too much because there hasn't been the second weekend. But there is some updates on the 2 movies we talked about last week, which is 80 for Brady and Knock at the Cabin. But anyway, let's get into acting news.
80 for Brady today.
The
heard about it.
biggest acting news we have that happened in the past week. This has been a rumor for a while now, but it just finally started picking up. Jim Carrey might come back as the Grinch in How the Grinch Stole Christmas too. Brayden, how do you feel?
Dude, can I tell you something? I
No.
might be biased. The Grinch might be my favorite Christmas movie of all time. Like I just think
it's my
so
second.
Iconic.
It's my
It's
second.
top 3. It's the top 3. What's your first?
Polar Express.
Oh
Yes. That's number, bro.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, in elementary school, second. When's the last time you watched it?
Like, dude, maybe like 3 or 4 years.
Dude, I watch it every Christmas Eve. Get some hot cocoa. Oh, woo! Stop playing. I miss it already. I miss it. Yeah, Polar Express is number 1. Dude, the vibes. Anyway, we're just not a Christmas podcast. I can't wait, dude. I can't wait for the Christmas podcast. It's gonna be dope. I didn't think about that. Yeah.
We have to theme it too.
Oh, bro, we got Halloween. We got. Oh my God, I'm hyped. And then for St. Patrick's Day, we could do a special podcast talking about Leprechaun.
We started at the boring time of the year. Good for us.
We really did. It was like literally the worst part.
Ready to go.
Yeah. But
no,
yeah,
I think that's really
what
cool,
do you think?
man. I love Jim Carrey. Honestly,
Who doesn't?
growing up, top 3 inspiration of mine. I really respect him as an actor, just his craft in general. He's like the one, not the one. He is one of the comedians that is really good at playing a dramatic role. And the thing about Jim Carrey that I feel
wait, Brayden, get a little bit more closer to your mic for me. There you go. No, you don't get super close. Just so you're kind of leaning back. I want to make sure they can hear you. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. I think the best thing about Jim Carrey, like his best quality for me as an actor, is I'm a very like big like facial person. Like whenever I talk, you can see it in my face. I always like do it. The Grinch, the Mask, bro. Like this guy is like always sitting here. He's like moving his face all around. It's amazing. Like nobody can make faces like that. How he can. Like I don't know if you should look it up. I've seen him on like interviews and stuff where he's like just pulled the smirk out and he's like makes some weird face, bro.
It's crazy.
But nobody can do it. And like that's why he played the Grinch. Like, you know what I mean? He was able to make a weird freaky face like that, but it's super funny, and he's so funny, and he knows how to like play the humor, and he knows how to just be the character.
Yeah,
he's a low-key little method actor, but like not.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, easily.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm nervous. It's not confirmed. It's rumored. It's really weird. I'm hype, and especially since he's gonna be involved, he's obviously gonna make sure it's good because he does sequels, but it's rare. It's good to have him back because he said that he'd never come back unless there was like a script that was written of gold or whatever came down from it. Whatever, Angels brought it out. I forgot what he said exactly. But he retired and now he's coming back. I'm worried about the Grinch itself, the fur. That was real ox fur that they got. And not is it ox? Yeah, an ox. One of those weird like big animals with the hair. Yeah. I think that's what it is, an ox. Yeah. Anyway, we don't got those here in St. Cloud. But
we have cows.
And got some cattle, man. Come on now. So which is basically what an ox is an hairy cow. But so he said it was like torture, 6-7 hours of makeup. He's not doing that again. There's no way. So I'm nervous it's gonna be CGI. Now technology has improved. Exactly. Technology has improved, but like you said, the studios want to make as much money as they can, and CGI is cheaper, way cheaper, easier to do, and it's easier to do whatever you want.
They probably would do that.
Less work.
That'd be terrible.
That's why I'm not too excited. So we'll see. It's not confirmed. It's not like, oh my God, it's happening. It's just something that people have been talking about, it's kind of been in the news. So I want to talk about that for a second. Also bring back the girl, dude. Even though she's like a rock star now.
Yeah,
have you seen her?
Now, right?
Bro,
yeah.
I know. It's like, what the heck? Like some Avril Lavigne face. Then
hey there.
You know what's up? Oh yeah, dude, we love Avril Lavigne, bro.
We love that.
We love her.
We do that a lot, actually.
Yeah, we do. Next one we got is Owen Wilson in the new Paint trailer. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't.
Paint. It's a Bob Ross biopic.
Oh my God, I heard about it,
dude.
Oh my gosh, is there a trailer?
There's a trailer. So it just, like I said, the trailer just released a couple days ago or something like that, or last Friday. I don't know what it was, but it released I think on Monday or something like that. Good. So his voice is perfect. You know his voice. Wow, here's the beautiful picture. You know what I mean? Has like the Bob Ross feel, but I think what made Austin Butler amazing as Elvis is he was an unknown actor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I see him in the trailer, I just think of Owen Wilson. I do not think of Bob Ross, and that's why I'm not too excited about this movie. I love Owen Wilson, but you can't get a famous person to do a biopic. Rami Malek worked, but this one it looks too much like it's literally just Owen Wilson with a curly hair wig and a facial hair, and that's it.
Yeah,
it's Owen Wilson. It's Owen Wilson, and he does nothing to his voice because his voice is already perfect. So it's just Owen Wilson. He's a known actor, so that's the one bad thing. So some advice to any people out there: if you do a biopic, don't get a famous actor. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
I actually had some because I sent this to you on Instagram. I don't know what you thought of it. The new Toy Story 5 and Zootopia 2 rumors.
And that's what we're going to get into next. So Toy Story 5 got announced. I did not watch 4. I thought 3 was the perfect way to end it. You give it to the little girl, and then you rip it. God, dude.
Let me give some feed here. I am not going to lie to you, Logan. When I watched the 4th one, everybody, I contemplated if it was my favorite Toy Story movie.
Get out.
I'm not going to freaking lie to you.
Stop.
I cried in the theaters watching Toy Story 4. I'm not going to lie to you.
It looks so stupid.
Here's what I'm going to say. This is what I'm going to say. This is serious. This is really serious. This is what I've been commenting on posts. The 3rd one is where it should have ended. They're so lucky that they did the 4th one that good and it made sense. Stop while you're ahead. Just stop now. Why are we doing a 5th? What? Can I give you some context of what happens at the end of the movie, if you don't mind?
Yep.
Basically, and spoilers to everybody. Spoiler alert right now. Bo Peep ends up showing back up throughout the whole movie. She's like the other main character with Woody. Woody leaves the gang for some Bo Peep-poon. He becomes a stray toy with Bo Peep, who's a stray toy, because he's not the one that gets played with anymore. He's not the leader anymore. He gets left in the closet, and Buzz and Jesse always get played with. Or whatever. And so, yeah, at the end, after this whole... Woody's trying to save the Spoon character the whole time, because that's the little girl's favorite toy, is the Spoon character she made at school. Sure. So she throws it out the window. Fucking Woody's, the whole time, he's sitting there trying to get it back for her. Gets it back to her. Gets him back to Forky, back to everybody.
Yeah.
And then Buzz is like, go. We know you want to be with her. And he was like, yo, I don't get played with. Bo Peep.
So what the hell are they going to do with the 5th one?
So, dude, literally, this is why it made me cry. Because as they're driving away in the RV, because they're on, so it's an RV, and the pop out comes up. So Buzz and the gang are on the pop out, and they're on the top of the carousel. And so everyone has to hurry after they realize Woody's not coming. They say their goodbyes, everyone goes. As it's driving away, Buzz is in front, and then Jesse and Bullseye are behind him, and everyone pulls up, and they're like, where's Woody? And then Buzz is like, oh, Woody's exactly where he needs to be. And it's Woody and Bo Peep. And then, oh, dude, it's so sad. Buzz goes to infinity, and you see everyone in the background, and then it pans on Woody, and it's and beyond. And it literally, dude, I'm telling you, you sit there, and you're like...
So it's the perfect ending, and now they're just doing something else. Also, the guy that's Mr. Potato Head died. So what are you going to do? Oh, you didn't know that? Yeah, he's dead. Oh. R.I.P. to him.
R.I.P. Man.
Yeah, he passed away. So what are you gonna do? Take little
I won't lie. The
clips?
3rd one I feel is where it should have ended. They made the 4th one purposefully an ending. They literally split the gang up on purpose.
And beyond, car turns back around.
And beyond, gone. Yeah. Is Woody just gonna venture back, or are they all just gonna be lost toys now?
Bro's gonna ditch on Bo Peep.
And then, they're already going to have some problems with having Chris Evans as Buzz Lightyear biopic thing.
I didn't watch it. Tim Allen will always be Buzz Lightyear.
Dude, Tim Allen
will always be Buzz Lightyear and Santa Claus.
What he did outside of outside of his job, he's the man.
He's a tremendous actor. He's great. He's great. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not really looking at that. I didn't hear about I love Zootopia though. I do like. I
love
really
Zootopia.
like Zootopia. It's really good. You know what?
One of my probably top 3 animated movies for me.
It's really solid. I don't want a second one though. I'm good. I love that Shakira's in it. That's always great. Who doesn't love Shakira?
I always wanted the second one actually.
You want a second one?
Yeah, I did.
Are you?
It's because it's hard. It's like to Sing. Sing was one of my favorite animated movies.
God, I was literally just gonna say I love Sing too. Oh my god.
Yeah,
that's perfect.
Sing, I feel like they did it. Like the sequel's not bad. Have you seen the sequel?
No.
It's not bad, but they definitely probably shouldn't have made another one. Especially for the fact they didn't get Frank Sinatra as the mouse back. That was an L.
Yeah.
Or not, I said Frank Sinatra.
Not thanks. He's
I'm
been
thinking
gone.
of My Way song that he sings. Seth MacFarlane.
He didn't come back.
He didn't come back.
That's pain.
And that was the one guy, actually, besides Taron. I love Taron Egerton. Like, top 5 actor for me. I just love him so much. Something about the guy. Kingsman's are some of my favorite movies, and people shit on him.
I've never seen him. Never seen him.
Dude, it's like
I've heard of him.
Funniest
I know
James Bond. It's so comedic.
Yeah, because James Bond can get boring.
No, but these guys
right. But you're saying those are more like fun. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we'll get back on topic. But this one scene in it, he basically has to put the drive in the girl, puts it over his finger, goes down her pants, does his business, and puts the insert in her so they can track her. That's the type of movie it is.
Oh.
But then they have umbrellas that work as riot shields. And they have spray cans that freeze proximity bombs.
So it's just like a slapstick James Bond. That's all it is. That's pretty cool. We'll take that.
It is really cool.
I'll get to it.
It is really cool.
I'll get to it. So yeah, that's kind of all the acting news we had. Nothing too crazy.
Yeah, no box office.
Yeah, nothing wild. And then box office stuff. There is a little bit.
Yeah.
80 for Brady. Made another $7 million this weekend. Or this week, which is pretty good. That's actually...
Are they below budget?
Well, 19... They have 19 million worldwide. I think they had a $28 million budget, but that's okay, though. I mean, they made another $7 million on the week, so the weekend's going to be pretty good then.
Yep.
Knock at the Cabin, the Dave Bautista movie, already over budget, I think.
So it was really good.
Yeah, they were already over budget by $1 million, which is incredible, and they had a $5 million week, so pretty good there. They're at $26 million with a $20 million budget, I think, or $21 million budget.
Dude, that's why Tom Brady retired.
exactly.
Get the movie popping.
Dude, he promoted it too like crazy. He was like, "Hey guys, I just watched the movie 4 times now that I'm retired." He actually tweeted that. So yeah, there's all the acting news. Also, Magic Mike made how much money? It's like $5 million today alone, wow. Which is pretty good, I think, for a Friday, and it's not even the end of Friday. So that was at 8:00. So they made a crap ton of probably money. Probably made like a solid 6-7 mil, which is you'll take that any day.
Salma Hayek in there, bro.
Oh, that's why I want to watch it, to be honest. So yeah, there we go. That's all the acting news, man, and we're about to dive into our next segment. Which before we do that, I have to pee, like always. So we're gonna take a break, and you guys it's gonna be edit, so it's pretty much like we never left. So we'll see you in 2 seconds? Yeah. And cut.
We're
back.
We back.
Look at that. First take. First try.
First try.
Yeah, I decided to just take a really quick pee. My last name's not Allen for nothing. You get it, Barry Allen, The Flash? No? Okay, I'll shut up. So yeah, man, really fun last segment here. We have Brayden gave me a really good look there. We have our last segment, which is how we approach a scene. So let me get out that on piece of paper because I'm so I don't know. I like to be organized. I like to kind of run through what I do. So this is kind of how we approach each scene, each audition, how we go about the audition, all that fun stuff. So it's more of like a personal thing, how we go about it, which Brayden came up with this idea, by the way. So big shout out to Brayden. He was like, yo, let's do something that's personal. They want to hear about us, not about anything else, which I don't know why you want to hear about us because we're super uninteresting, but hey, we love you. Thanks for listening.
You know what I mean? When I sit here and I'm listening to Bert Kreischer, like Tom Segura, or like Andrew Schultz, dude. Oh, they're so funny. I'm naming all the comedians, but their podcasts are hilarious.
Bro, who doesn't like Andrew Schultz, bro? What a G.
Oh my God, what a G.
Yo, what kind of mustache you got going on right now, though? That's a little,
One more thing in actors news. The You People scene. Did I tell you about that? The final kiss in the Jonah Hill people, the You People scene, is CGI'd.
Oh, you DM me that, but you said you want to talk about it on the podcast. I didn't know.
Yes, and I'm going to make a quick comment on this, and I heard it was because of COVID restrictions. Okay, for people that don't know this, movies aren't filmed scene by scene or like in order, usually. It's usually out of order depending on the set you're on. So what I had heard is they filmed the ending of the movie first, so still in COVID restrictions. And so the ending is CGI'd, and they do a really good job of making it not look like CGI, but Andrew Schultz came out and talked about how it was, and once you see it,
because he was in the movie, right?
He was. He was Jonah Hill's cousin.
I need to watch it.
Eddie Murphy's the girl's dad.
Yeah, no, I seen that too. Yeah, I need to get around to that, man. It's Netflix, isn't it?
Yeah, I heard 50-50, like it was either really bad or really good.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
Mm.
Oh, okay. Well, it's on Netflix, the best streaming service out there, home of Sweet Magnolias. So yeah, let's go ahead and I heard something. So we're gonna dive into our process and how we approach each scene. I get this a lot. And since we've already kind of talked about this a little bit before, not too much, but we kind of just, touched the little surface of it. And we approach it in different ways. So, we're going to kind of go through how we go about it. So I'll start first. So, when I first get the audition, and this can be for auditions. Like, I approach my scenes with Kyle in a totally different way. Because I already know the character. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
once
it's
you
literally just
know the character and you have the role, there's a different grace you walk about.
Way different process. And really, I'll just kind of do a quick summary on it. Literally get the scene, read it, know the lines, try it a couple different ways, and be ready to go into that on the set. Just know your lines and wait for the...
You are the character.
Right, and wait for the director to give you options and give you direction.
That's a quick
and then
little thing I'll follow up on. Psyching yourself out as an actor it's not like a terrible thing to do, but it's not the best thing. And like, you know what I mean? No one's gonna bash on you for it, but I'm a victim to it. You know what I mean? I do that all the time. So something you got to like work on. But Logan here is a veteran. He's professional.
No, I'm not.
So he's always in the mind.
I'm professional. Jesus, I hope that's not the bar you're setting.
He's always in the mind space, ladies and gentlemen.
I try.
Call his PR team.
I try. Even though I laughed in the middle of a scene a couple times, man, this season. Not first time I did that. I did that in season 2 in a scene with Justin.
Really?
And then in this past season, there was a scene that there was a bunch of the teenagers were together from the show. And I'm not gonna spoil it, but me and this other cast member are like standing by each other in the scene, and dude, we just started dying. Anyway, I don't want to get into it too deep before the Netflix executives like snipe me through my window. Anyways, this is for when I get an audition, is what I'm saying. Not an actual role that I already have. So when I first get it, it's obviously usually from my agent or the casting director requesting me or something like that. They'll send the breakdown. The breakdown will have the date when it needs to be sent by, which is the deadline. It'll have the synopsis. It'll have the backstory. It'll have the character descriptions. And it'll have all the producers and directors on the side with the name of the project. Usually it says untitled project, or it's like a temporary name. Like when I did Halloween 2018, it was called Uncle Orange. That's a good example right there. But Stranger Things was called Stranger Things. But a lot of times it would be like 21st Century Fox untitled film, or a Disney untitled film, or it'll be something like that. So anyway, you get it. You read through it real quick. It'll tell you how to do the slate, which the slate is the beginning of the audition, which is where, or sometimes it's at the end, or it's always at the end. What am I saying? Usually. And is it at the beginning or the end?
Your slate? So, fun fact.
I don't edit my audition, so I don't know.
What I was going to say is and this is actually really funny that you just said that because I'm gonna make points on it. I used to always do it at the beginning, and that was actually a mistake on my part because I was watching one of the Actors
Yeah,
Roundtables
they don't care
episode.
about your right.
The first, and Logan's talked about this on a lot of his videos I've seen on YouTube and stuff. Like the
Mhm.
first 5 seconds is the most important part of your audition. If you don't have them hooked in the beginning, then there you go, and you don't want to waste your first 5 seconds on a slate.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's why when you can, try to put it at the end.
Which
But
dude, I'm so stupid. I just realized a lot of times they want it in a separate file, so they don't even have to watch your slate if they don't
don't
want to.
even
They just
watch
click
it.
on your
Yeah.
thing. I'm sorry. Don't listen to anything I just said. All the people that know me, all my acting friends, are screaming in my ear saying, "Logan, you're supposed to be educating these people, but you have the IQ of a 2-year-old."
What's that red
I'm
dot
sorry.
on your face
Yeah,
right
it's
now?
it's 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 going around. That I'm so sorry, guys. Ignore it. That was super unprofessional. Anyway, this is not a professional podcast, so here we go. But no. So yeah, the slate, sometimes you add it on the same file as the actual audition tape, or you can put it at the beginning or the end. Usually it's the end because no one wants when you send an audition to a casting director, they're not going to watch the entire thing. They're just going to watch the first 5 seconds and they'll be like, okay, cool. Next person, if they don't like
And
it,
I
or
don't
they
mean
might be
this
like,
in a
"Ooh,
bad
this
way.
is intriguing," and then
They
if they
see
want to go to the slate, they'll watch it and get to the end.
they see hundreds of thousands of people a day. I don't think that they really care to see like, hi, my name is
They
Jessica
don't.
and I'm 16. Like, just
They
get
don't.
to you know what I mean?
They
Show
don't
them that
care.
you're really good and they'll take you.
Yeah,
And then they'll
yeah,
want to know
that's
your name.
that's how it is. It's like when you write like an essay, you know what I mean? That first little hook statement, whatever you call it, is
Absolutely.
is how you do it. So, yeah, so I do that, read through it, get the slate, make sure you name all the files the right way, because a lot of casting directors won't even open the audition if it's not named the right way or if it's not in the same file. A lot of them are very picky about that. So I read all the instructions, whether it's the directions for file naming and whatever it may be, editing, and then of course read the breakdowns for everything. After I do that, I read the scene or scenes usually around 5 times just to kind of get a grasp of what I'm reading, understand the material, what it is. I know the synopsis already, so I'm just kind of understanding what this scene's about, what goes into it. And then after that, I read the scenes another 5 times, but this time it's from the character's point of view. No, sorry. Before that, I go back to the character and kind of really read that character description a lot. Now that I have an understanding of what the scene is going to be about, I go back to the character and really read into him a little bit and kind of dig deeper into his emotions, make a backstory, all that fun stuff, because that's what you want to do. You want to make a backstory for your character and connect and relate to him. Then after that, then I go back and read the scene another 5, it's around 5 times, sometimes more, sometimes less, where I then implement the character. I read it through the character's eyes about 5 times, 10 times sometimes, and then I just read it a bunch of times. Then after I feel out the character, I read the scene. Usually, like once I know what the character is feeling and thinking about. Once again, that probably takes more than 5 times. That's just kind of an idea. Usually, it's about 10 to 15 times, and then I take that perspective or idea, that kind of that formation, I guess, of what I want to do. That was a terrible way to describe that, by the way, but I can't really describe it. I take the essence of what I want to do with that scene, I guess, put it to the side, and I read it in a whole different perspective, whole nother perspective, just something out there, just to test something. So I'll usually read it like another like couple times and just see. I'm gonna read it in this emotion. I'm gonna read this in a sad emotion. I'm gonna read this in a comedy's point of view. I'm gonna read this in a drama's point of view. I'm gonna read this in a whatever it may be. So I just try it, just see, maybe it'll hit different.
You know what I do
You
a
never
lot?
know. Yep.
Not to cut you off, but
You're good.
and something I've jumping from theater to film, I had to get more acquainted with certain things. You know what I mean? Because it's totally different realms. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now that I'm actually like training with coaches and stuff, the idea of certain things really like goes the longest way. Like a big thing for me that I've developed and I really like to play around with it is which word I put the emphasis on. Because in theater, a lot of the time you just kind of do it. I feel like like unconsciously. But in film, I've realized like if I'm going to like um Jerry wants a hot dog with ketchup and mustard. You can be like Jerry wants a hot dog with ketchup and mustard. Jerry wants a hot dog with ketchup and mustard. You know what I mean? Or like Jerry wants a hot dog with ketchup and mustard. You know what I mean? Put the emphasis on and. You can
Right.
always play around and you get a different reaction, a different vibe when you do that. So
Right.
that's something I like to do a lot.
Yeah. No, you're right. And that's very common. You know, one thing that Brad Pitt does that I love is, and I've started using this myself, is he'll take a line from the film that he's working on, just one line, and he'll read that line every single day right before he goes on set, and he brings it on a set with him, a piece of paper that it has a line on it and everything, and he says that it's a staple of the character. So it helps him get into character more. That one line is not just a random line. It's a line that means something to the character. He'll bring that every single place he goes. So that's kind of what you're saying with the scene. Find that one word that resonates with you, that connects with you, and you'll see your character come out of it, and you'll find what your character wants and what his motivations and aspirations are and what the purpose of the scene is supposed to be, what he wants to get across. So, yep, that's that. There you go. Good job pointing that out. And yeah, just kind of experimenting with the script when I'm trying to, looking from a different perspective. And then at the end, I'll know what I want with the scenes. I'll have a few different ways. You don't want to go too overboard with it. I might have two ways I want to play it, and then I go in, film the audition,
I agree.
self
I'd say
tape.
like max is 3.
Yeah. Now if it's an in person audition, then obviously you only have one chance to do it. The director usually gives you. Right. The directors will usually give you pointers on to try to do it a different way. But I'm saying, like, as yourself, go in there with just one idea. But usually, like I said, you have your main idea. It's just a different idea that you're like, ooh, I want to play around with this a little bit. That's what makes this career so much fun, is you can do a scene so many different ways. Like Brayden just showed as an example with the hot dog thing. Keep thinking of the hot dog fingers. Jesus.
Oh my gosh, that's really what I thought of. That's why I ended
That's
up
probably
saying
why I
that.
said that. Exactly. It's just subconsciously, it's in my mind now. Jamie Lee Curtis with glizzies. So yeah, I just lost it. That's it for the podcast, guys. I'm gonna end the
That's
episode.
good.
Jesus. But yeah, so that can change the entire aspect of the scene.
Absolutely.
So yeah, just play around with it, have fun with it. And that's what makes our career so much fun. Is you can just take one little word or phrase, and just twist it, and it changes the entire scope of things. So, those are my 6 steps, that I go through, and there's obviously a lot more stuff. That's just kind of the base of everything, and we can dive into more of that here in a second. But yeah, that's kind of that. And then after you're done saying yours, Brayden, we can dive into like how we approach each self-tape when we're filming it, if that makes sense. So go ahead.
Yeah. I would say a big part of my audition, I would say most things are very similar to Logan's, and there's certain things I'm not going to touch on, like character analysis and the breakdown and stuff. That's all very similar. Um, when I go about approaching the scene, the very first thing that I do, and it's not something I used to do, is I do script analysis right away. As soon as I get it, I look at the like Logan said, I look at the character, I look at kind of what the background is, what's going on, read out the scene, and then I take it note by note. And something I've been working on recently a lot more, but I'll take it phrase by phrase, and more emotion, my emotion of beats. So when there's an emotional transition, that's when I kind of do the next note, and then if you want to like fine tune it, then you'll go line by line. But I like to, for a standard based template, I like to go emotion by emotion. So like, say we're talking in the scene, and like we're just talking about coffee and about our morning, and then you let me know that Johnny crashed my car last night. Emotional transition right there. I'm very upset now. You know what I mean? And that's where I feel like you can start to make your pointers to help guide you through that scene. So yeah, I'll start off with that. My next point is kind of very similar to Logan's. I developed the character. I like to go and reread the character description and really get acquainted with the person that I'm going to be. And I think that's a big thing for me. I always like to think like you definitely want to bring a little bit of yourself to every role that you do, because that's what's going to make it stick out, unless you're, playing Elvis Presley. Yeah. But, yeah, man. And I like to develop, and it can get wild, you'll sit here and, Jackson is a medic in the Army, but to me, Jackson grew up in a crack house. You know what I mean? And that's why I went to the military. So he's fucking hard to the bone. Or Jackson was raised by his mom and grandma, so he's very much like me. He's like a little giggly, and you know what I mean. He doesn't really want to go do that, and so he's in the army. He's scared. He's trembling.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like to mess around with it. And it goes back to what Logan was saying about those different takes and ways you go about things.
I thought you just got blown up right there for a second.
Yeah, right.
Asteroid hit.
Yeah, and it's actually something weird. I have a pretty good memory. Me and Logan have talked about it a lot. I'm actually pretty for me, memorization is very fluent.
I don't.
Yeah, very interesting fact. When I first found that out, I thought it was super funny. But I think that has to do with theater and stuff. You know what I mean? You're memorizing 150 pages for 2 hours a night doing that show. But yeah, I used to memorize right away. I always thought, a lot of directors told me, and I think this is a bigger thing with theater, getting the script out of your hands helps you get in touch with the character better. And that's totally true when you're trying to reach grandma in the back row and make sure grandma sees you doing your tricks. But when you're in film and you have those tight shots, it is more about internalizing your character and painting the canvas out here. But it's really internalization. So I feel like now my technique, Claire Lopez, you bomb, she has been talking to me, and she told me every script I get, that's the last thing she wants me to do is memorize it. She wants me to do everything, get to know the character, be acquainted with it, become the character, and then go from there. But
well, I want to touch on that too. Yeah, and I agree. Because if you try to memorize the lines, you're going to memorize the lines in a way. You're going to memorize the lines in a pattern. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to kind of tell that to the audience. So that's why it's so important to not just go and memorize the lines. Understand the character, how they're going to say it. And then when you memorize the lines, usually you'll memorize a lot of them just by doing that. But obviously you need to kind of touch it up a little bit. And that's when you can finally understand the character and how they'll say it and whatnot. So I just want to let you guys know.
And that's a great point. Like you said, just reading, I've noticed that myself, rereading the scenes and just doing the work. You don't even have to memorize. You'll end up having it memorized if you just start to become the character and reread the scenes and do them over. Consistency is key, you know what I mean? And then probably my last step is to
nail the audition.
Yeah. I was gonna say character relationships.
There you go.
So just kind of figure out what the characters, what their backgrounds are, how they're related to the scene, and that one's more of maybe a 2.5 step. You know what I mean? Kind of adds on to the second step. But I feel like my last step is once I'm in the room, bang the audition out. But a lot of my big points, I like to. Two things that I do as an actor that I try to be very conscious of, and this is what me and Claire were talking about today, is having two brains. There's your acting brain, and then there's your emotional brain. So constantly you have a brain, your emotional brain, that's trying to push that, but then you have a conscious brain that's like, oh, remember your line. Remember, you have to walk over here. Remember, you have to talk to this person. So while those brains go on at the same time and you're constantly going through that, it's something to juggle. I totally lost my spot there.
Yeah, trying to juggle those two different types of brains you were talking about, where you're the character but you're also yourself, where you have to say, hey, I need to go to this mark, I need to do this thing next. It is really hard to juggle. And no, I totally understand, dude. It's so hard to explain to somebody who isn't an actor or actress, because it is weird. You're the character, but you're also conscious at the same time. It's really strange.
Yeah.
So it's even the really method actors, you have to be in touch with yourself. There's no possible way to just lose. You can lose yourself in a role. The biggest, I'll just give this example because everybody does, Heath Ledger as Joker. Sure, he obviously was this demented, crazy Joker guy on set, but there's also Heath Ledger there saying, oh, I need to move on this mark, I need to do this. He's taking direction from the director. He's not just full-on Joker, even though that's what people say. He pretty much was, obviously, when they say action, but I'm saying there is that subconscious thought that Brayden's talking about that is in your head saying, oh, my line is next, I go here, I do this. So there is something there. And usually when you have something to do in a scene, it's actually easier to get further away from that subconscious thought and focus more on the scene.
Yeah. And a few ways I do it is I internalize, you know what I mean? I feel like a lot of actors do it, especially in like a taping or an audition. You kind of self-analyze the room and make things like, oh, this is where the couch would be, the grand family's talking over here, pinpoint people, give yourself directions. If you're talking to multiple people, make sure that you have them placed in the scene. And my biggest thing as an actor, and this isn't really like a that's my like little 3 steps, I guess, but this is like a little side note. My biggest, not tip, but thing that you can do as an actor, and it goes a long way with believability, I feel like, is really listening to your scene partner, because you don't have their lines memorized, obviously. And a lot of thing I did in theater is I wouldn't even memorize their lines. I would memorize the last 5 lines, so I would know my line. You know what I mean? But it's almost, I like to not even look now and wait till they stop talking, because that's believable. You know what I mean? Like, I am a human. If I hear you speak, I need to process what you said and respond in a humanly way. And with acting, it's the same exact way. You don't want to come off as you're doing a performance. You want it to be believable. So I think for a lot of actors, listening to your scene partners a lot when you're doing the work is such a big part, because you'll have a more genuine reaction. You know, they're talking about teacups, and you know what I mean? You've read the scene 50 times. You know what she's going to say, but then you're like really listening. Wow, like you really like teacups? Wow, that's awesome.
And you know what helps with that?
For you.
What helps with listening, and Brayden's 100% right, that's a top 10 thing. It makes it more realistic and you can see it. What I like to do is take a word from the sentence you're responding to and focus on that. Taking a word from your line, it's so weird now that I look at it. I love taking words from my line that I like to emphasize, and then taking words from the scene partners' lines that I like to emphasize. So, you know, if they're talking about the I almost said hot dogs. Whatever, we'll go with hot dogs. It's so stupid. So with the hot dogs, God, you know, if in that line where he's like, you know, hot dogs, whatever, ketchup, mustard, hot dogs are amazing with ketchup and mustard. The 2 things that really pop out to me there is ketchup and mustard. It's like, you know, right? I'm listening, but ketchup and mustard? What about
what you want
radish? You know what I mean? What about some pickles, bro? What's wrong? We love mayo on our hot dogs. Why not that? You know what I'm saying? Some barbecue, you know, some honey mustard, some ranch.
There you go.
Why not?
Why not?
So
put some ice cream on
please don't do that. Any of those things. So ice cream on it. You know,
make a glizzy sundae.
Yo, that sounds. I was gonna say fire, but I'll stop. But no. So just finding that word really helps me out listening to him, because it keeps me more engaged. Because like I said, you do it over and over and get boring, get repetitive. Yeah. But if you find that word, you'd be like, and almost I do this sometimes as well. Find different words and see. Oh wait, maybe since this is the key word, I like how I respond to this word in the line other than this word. Maybe instead of finding the 2 words of ketchup and mustard in that analogy, maybe hot dogs is what catches my attention. You know?
Yeah.
You know, hot dogs are great with ketchup and mustard. I'm sitting there and I'm like, what about pizza? Hamburgers. Some wings.
Why are you forgetting my pizza and burger?
What's wrong? What's wrong with you, my boy? So and those are going to be 2 totally different reactions, because it went from the beginning of the line to the end of the line. So that's just totally different things. I don't like to take. I was going to say I don't like taking words at the beginning of the line, but it really just depends on the situation, because a lot of the times the first word they say can grab your attention, like hot dogs. Maybe we were sitting there talking about pizza, and he's like, bro, hot dogs are... I'm like, what? I don't want to hear the rest of the sentence. But if we're talking about hot dogs, you know, and he's like, you know, hot dogs are amazing with ketchup and mustard, then we're already talking about hot dogs. So hot dogs isn't going to grab my attention, but the ketchup and mustard is going to do. That's going to grab my attention, because why? What's wrong with you? You know what I mean? I just like eating my, you know, glizzy plain. Jesus. So... So yeah, there you go. There you go. So you guys get the point. That was terrible. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Listen, it's 1:00 in the morning, dude. I'll stop. So yeah, God, what is this episode? So yeah, so that can change drastically, and it just differs from scene to scene. Um, so yeah, man, I agree with taking one of those words to really focus on and emphasize on, and that's what I like to do. I like to take a word, each and every line that I'm paying attention to and that I'm responding to in a scene. I always take a word from, believe it or not. There's just kind of some insight on what we're thinking about, what our mindsets are, and once we figure out the word, it's so easy to make that part of our character's brain, as you like to call it.
Exactly.
It's so weird because once you grab onto that word, it's so,
it's like music. It's really like a song.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm with you, brother. I'm with you. So that's what's so great. And acting is really about finding ways to balance out that. I love that you meant. I love that analogy with the two brains. I'm gonna start using that all the time now. That conscious brain and the character brain. There you go. I love using that because acting is all about finding the connection between the two. And there you go. That's the way to do it.
It's like yin and yang. You have to have balance for everything, and you can't. If you're thinking too much about what your next line is, it's going to be visible. But if you're also trying to be too into the scene, you're going to ruin the sense of flow of what's going on, and you're going to mess everyone else up. So you have to know the middle ground in between both. And it's not easy to get there. You know what I mean? A lot of people work towards becoming more grounded. And you know what I mean? Like Christian Bale is someone who I think is like a very grounded actor. He's phenomenal, man. But, yeah, and it varies for everyone, and it's something that I feel like a lot of people don't really think about when they watch actors on screen. You know what I mean? They just expect you to do the job, just get up there and do it, and people are like, oh, it's hard, but they don't know why it's hard. They just know it's hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't do that. I'd be too scared. They don't know why. You know what I mean?
Right.
This is the why.
Yeah. There's a lot of aspects to it. That people don't necessarily know, and there's so many different methods and so many different techniques and so many different things. It can get very, very easy to fall victim to getting away from your own habits. And it's good to try out new things, but sometimes you have a technique you need to stick to. You have a certain thing you need to stick to, and
what is it? If your name broke, don't fix it.
There you go. And the reason I say that is because it's not just one and two things that's part of your technique. It's a multitude of things. How you approach a scene, how you go about your character, how you view your character, what you think about your character, what do you do before you start the scene. Do you put a little backstory? How far ahead does your backstory go for your character? How far does it go in the future? There's so many different aspects to it that is so different with each and every person. And that's why actors are so unique. Each and one of us, we're not the same, because we all approach something in a totally different way, and because it brings some of ourselves into it. And we talked about that. You can get Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio,
or Brad Noble,
or Brayden Noble. Or this is an example right here. You know what I mean? Whoever it is, get two actors, give them the same role, same character breakdown, everything. It's two totally different characters, two totally different tones.
That's what's so awesome.
And it's not the same.
Interpretation, man. That's why I love
it's insane.
This job.
100%. No, that's what makes this job so great. Because everybody's so different, and every day's a new day. You have no idea how you're going to perform. Acting is like every other sport. Sometimes you have bad days. You don't know when that bad day is going to be. You have no idea when that bad day is going to be. And I know Brayden knows it. I know it. Some days you get to set and you're like, why do I suck today?
Why am I here? Yeah. And why did they choose me?
Yeah. And it's so strange, man, because like your game's just all off, and it's like any other sport you play. Sometimes it's on, sometimes it's off, and you can fall victim to then changing your technique, but that's just part of life. You're not going to be on your A game every single day. Nobody is. So don't fall victim to changing that up just because you have one bad day.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just feel like I need to say that. Nobody's perfect. No actor's perfect. I've worked with some big actors, and we all mess up.
Excuse me. Well freaking put.
Yeah.
The whole philosopher out here.
There you go. I try. I really try.
Logan Allen fans are going,
oh my God. Open the door.
Open the door. Yeah.
Jeez, man.
Oh, man.
This is, I don't know why we're even filming this right now. So yeah, there we go. It's 1 a.m. I think I kind of hit it. Wow. I hit all the different things I wanted to hit in this segment. Did you hit everything you want to hit, Brayden?
Yeah, yeah, at least in preparation, everyone's process is going to be different.
Mhm.
And you know what I mean? There's people like Logan who are more experienced than me. And I sit here a lot and I feel like I always have really good advice to give, but then at the same time, you need a lot of that work to back it up. So you don't have to listen to what I say, but I think I'm a pretty smart individual.
No, dude, I learn things from you all the time. That brain thing is something that I learned, and then your approaches as well. It doesn't matter. You can get, I think it might have been Brad Pitt in the same interview I talked about earlier with the keyword thing that he was talking about, or the phrase that he would carry around. He said that, no matter how far he gets, he's always learning something new every single day on set, and that's 100% true.
And that's the best. I love that. I'm the same way.
So
you always have something more you can learn.
And it doesn't matter if you're just a little bit further in your career than someone else. It doesn't matter, bro. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
So, dude, I got so many things going through my head right now, bro. This is too late for this, bro. But yeah, I got hot dogs. I got open the door. I got all this stuff. It's just a lot going on. So, but no, yeah. It doesn't matter how far along. It doesn't matter how experienced someone is and how inexperienced you are, or vice versa. You can always learn something new because everybody's different and we're all unique, which makes us amazing. I love having conversations because of that. And that's why I want to start this podcast, because me and Brayden have a lot of similarities when it comes to work ethic and stuff, but we also have a lot of differences when it comes to our take on life, and that's always fun to kind of talk about.
Yeah. So. But we mend in such like a great way too.
No, we don't.
You know what I mean?
We actually hate each other. I can't stand this dude. I mean, right as we end this recording, I get off and I don't speak to him again. Everything. Oh yeah, we don't ever talk.
His PR team reaches out to me. I can't, bro. I can't.
Oh, dude. No, I love this dude. He's great. He's fun to talk to, and yeah, sometimes he just won't open the door. It's kind of annoying, but
yeah, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I always look forward to these recordings.
They're fun, bro. They're really, really fun, and I'm glad you guys are enjoying it, man.
You guys, hey, I'm not gonna be as nice. You guys are all jealous that I get to talk to him every week. I know. Yeah. I would be too.
Yeah, no, it's always a blast, dude. And I'm so glad that we have amazing people like you watching us, and
you.
I'm
looking at you.
I haven't seen, by the way, the new You season just came out on Netflix. I haven't seen the show though, have you?
Never. Thank God.
You heard of it though, right?
Like,
You?
Yeah. I've heard it's really good.
Yeah, they just came out with the new season. It's like I think it's like a stalking show or something. It's kind of interesting. I kind of want to watch it.
I've heard a lot about it. My friends were super into it. I feel like it's gotten, and I'm not saying it's gotten worse, it's gotten weirder, the story, how it's adapted. I feel like they're getting maybe a little bit repetitive with it from what I've heard.
That's when you're 4 seasons into a show, it's bound to happen. Into a show like that. Like what I love about my show in Sweet Magnolias.
Like Jeffrey Dahmer, basically.
Right,
know what I mean?
right, exactly. There's one storyline. But what I love about Sweet Magnolias, and I'm not biased at all, is the fact that it's a show that you can do so many different things. There's like 9 books. So there's so much content you can take from it. And it's a show that you can always do new things. It doesn't get really that repetitive. But when you have a show like...
about the #1 leading show on Netflix, Sweet Magnolias?
I think so. Yeah, man.
Leading man Logan Allen?
Unbelievable. I mean, you got Reba. You got the dude from American Pie. You got the amazing Carson Rowland. You got the amazing Annalise Judge. You know, I mean, just an incredible
I'm talking about Carson
crew.
Like I know him. Carson, I've heard so much about you that I feel like I personally know you.
He's definitely not watching this.
He's definitely not watching this.
Definitely not watching this. But Carson, I love you, brother. I miss you. I really do. I need to go down to his house, man. Go on the boat, see my boy. I miss him, man. I do. Mm-hmm. I do. We've had a really good time this season, but none of they're not watching this. But I love you guys, the whole entire cast. But no, yeah, Sweet Magnolias. I don't even know why that was brought up. I don't know what I was even talking about. What were we saying?
These are the moments we live for, Logan.
Yeah. Big time podcast moment there. Everybody already turned off the podcast episode by now. But no, that's going to be it, man. We hit everything we wanted to hit. I had such a blast talking about everything everywhere all at once, which feels like forever ago, right?
We do this thing where we sit here and I look down at the clock. I'm like, wow, we've been talking for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I said last episode, we could go for 6.
Yeah. And then what's funny is when I think we're getting close to the end, we just keep going.
We keep
you know,
going, yeah.
and of course we decided to film these episodes so late, but it is what it is. It's literally 1 a.m. right now, on the dot almost. But yeah, man, I had a blast this episode. Thank you guys so much for listening. Listen, if you made it this far, I love you.
We appreciate that.
Dude,
I was going to say it. We love you, man.
I love you, man. So thank you so much. Whether you're driving the car right now, eyes on the road, eyes on the road. I know you want to look at our sexy faces, but just keep eyes on the road. Yeah, whether you're watching this on YouTube, listening on Spotify, whatever it is, seriously, from the bottom of our hearts, we really do mean a lot, man. Or not mean a lot. What the heck? We do really, really do appreciate it. It means a lot to us. That's what I was trying to say. Words, Logan, words. And yeah, man, I had such a blast filming these amazing episodes.
And super awesome. This one was one of my favorites, man. This definitely, I love the movie.
You know what's funny is every single episode we do, it feels more like organic. Like we're starting to roll a little bit, a little more comedy, a little more fun. I don't know, man. I'm feeling it. Yeah, it really is. It really is. But no, man. Thank you so much, Brayden, for hopping on here, brother.
Dude, thank you.
My guy,
thank you.
Mr. Thor.
I gotta tell you guys, this guy puts in so much work.
No, I don't. I sit down and just eat my Doritos all day.
He puts in like 90% of the work. I come here and I just talk. This guy's fantastic.
Nah. He brings
all the love.
Yeah,
he deserves all the love.
Oh, stop it. But no, man. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you guys so much for watching this. Really do appreciate it. If you're watching on YouTube, give this video a like. Subscribe if you're new. And look at Brayden's awesome heart. Just give it a little like right there real quick. And comment down below. We have no comments on our YouTube videos. Why? What's going on? You guys are watching it, liking, but not commenting. It's okay. We still love the support. Thank you. But comment. Say hi. We'll say hi back. Give your input on the movies we talk about. What you want to see. Well, listen, this podcast, I talked about it last episode. This is a podcast for y'all, not for us.
We want you to talk to us, man.
Please. Talk to us. Say something. Say something.
Just do it.
But no, man, just seriously, say something, guys. We're always here to talk. We both have access to the YouTube channel, so that's actually a pretty fun mystery. You don't know who you're talking to when we comment back. So that's a big mystery right there. But
I'm totally gonna respond to people as you.
dude, that's gonna be so much fun. I can't wait to play around with you guys. But no, so make sure you guys do comment and let us know what you think about the show, all that stuff. Rate the movies we talk about and let us know what you guys want to see next. If you're watching on Spotify, follow our account, our little channel on there. That would mean a crap ton. And rate it. I think you can rate it on Spotify. So do that for us, please.
Listen, you have 5 minutes out of your day to either and I know you have YouTube.
Yeah, you do.
You could either just subscribe here. Or you could go New on Spotify and give us a freaking 5-star. There's no hurt. You know what I always hate from people? This is my last note. Why aren't you famous yet? Why don't you share my shit?
There you go. Yeah, just share it.
See you later.
Share it, bro. Get it going. Yeah, Brayden just left the Zoom call right now. I just want to end on that note. But no, seriously, just share it for us, guys. And we're talking. I mentioned this in the first episode. The more. Oh, Ryan just texted me. The more we support we get, the more we can put into the podcast. Absolutely. Right now, this is kind of a side thing for us. I'm putting a lot of effort into it. Obviously, Brayden is as well. But it is kind of okay. Stop texting me. This is kind of a side thing, obviously. But dude, if it goes off and you guys show it support and we start really getting
more episodes weekly.
Exactly. And I think once we start getting the guests on starting in like April, it'll be incredible and it'll definitely improve a lot. But the more support we get, the more we'll be able to do. We'll be able to do in-person podcasts with mics and that's just gonna be fun, dude. In person,
studio.
Dude, I know. I have the setup already. Know I'm gonna do, and I'm so excited for that. So if you guys give us enough support, I almost said content. We're the ones giving you content. If you give us enough support, we'll be able to bring you guys more content and make it more and up the quality a little bit, make it a little bit more exciting because we both agree that the best podcasts out there are the in-person podcasts.
Absolutely, man.
So yeah, no, we really appreciate you guys listening to this. Like I said, thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
And
from the bottom of our hearts.
Yeah, we will see you guys next week when we review Ant-Man. Was it Ant-Man was it Quantum? Oh, Quantumania.
Quantumania.
One more thing. Super Bowl prediction. Just throw it out real quick. This guy's an Eagles fan though, so fly Eagles fly.
2017 was the best year of my life. Well, 2018 was the year. 2017 football season was the best year of my life. Listen to me right now. The Philadelphia Eagles will walk on the field this Sunday and take home that trophy. I'm telling you right now. My prediction on score, 36-34.
Pat Mahomes is still hurt, though. Minus 10
Jackson
points.
Mahomes is going to fill in.
Or Patrick Mahomes. I said Jackson Mahomes.
Nope. Jackson Mahomes is going to fill in.
No, yeah. Patrick Mahomes, he still has an ankle injury, though. So I would probably take like 7 points off, personally. Because, I mean, he'll be okay. And he looked really good in the Super Bowl against the Bucs.
And I love Patrick Mahomes, guys. I say this guy is going to go down.
No, we don't. We actually don't care about him at all. To be honest, when you were talking about the Eagles, bro, I was going to do the Chief. I was going to do like the chant, but that's a Florida State chant. I would rather jump off a building.
Fly,
so I'm okay.
Eagles fly.
I'm actually cheering for the Eagles. I think Eagles are going to win. I think it's going to be
to victory.
Jalen Hurts going to have a heck of a game. I'm going 34-24. Eagles on top.
I appreciate
Fly, Eagles
you,
fly. Also, I hate the Chiefs. I hate the Chiefs.
Real quick, last note. Did you see Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce, the two brothers, started a podcast?
I love their podcast. It's actually one of the ones I listen to.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's really good. The one that we had their mom on recently, and the dad was pretty funny. See that? Right. Mama Kelce got to be feeling good with both her sons.
Mama Kelce, first Super Bowl with brothers.
Dude, the first one?
Yes, sir.
On opposite. I think there was one when they were on the same team, though.
Oh, maybe,
right?
Yeah, on opposite.
The Seahawks, I think. Yeah. Seahawks had those two brothers that I don't remember their name. They weren't really that popular. But they were twins, I think. And then it's the first time they're against each other, though. It's gonna be pretty hype, dude. They people were saying they should have Mama Kelce out there doing the coin toss, which I agree.
I saw that. There's a whole petition thing. And
we got Chris Stapleton doing the American flag, national anthem.
Oh, no way,
dude. I mean, oh, smooth. Like, oh my god, I can't wait for that, bro. And then Rihanna. Should be interesting.
Rihanna, it's gonna be super cool, man.
Or Rihanna, I don't know why I say Rihanna. It. Open the door.
Open the door. Yeah, no, I think if Jalen Hurts plays his best, he's gonna ball out. But if he
needs to. He deserves it.
Because personally, and I know we kind of got off the hook with San Fran. I still think we would have won, but he definitely should have put up 20 more points on their head, bro, for the situation they were in.
Yeah,
did not impress me that day.
Jalen Hurts. One heck of a football player. That is a player that I've really been following heavily since college. Actually, coming out of high school because he was a big prospect, and I wanted him to come to Florida. He didn't.
The fact they ever started Wentz over him, insanity.
Yeah.
Sorry, Carson.
No, we like the other Carson better. Love our Carson Rowland.
Yeah.
But no, yeah. So that's our thoughts on that. Brayden's a big Eagles fan, so next week
definitely, yeah.
Next week he's either going to be really happy or he's going to probably take a leave of absence. So let's just have Brayden in your prayers. And hopefully we'll be able to watch the Super Bowl together. I don't know. His schedule's kind of busy. We'll see.
Hoping on it.
But no, guys, that's gonna be it for the podcast. Now, actually, like I said, thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, follow, whatever it is on whatever platform you're listening or watching on right now. Love all you guys, and we will see you next week.
So much love for you.
Later.
Later.